Queen H3.
Yeah, Queen H3, Knight F2.
She goes her own way, like I don't give a damn girl. And my God, she owns it. So many heartbreaks, goes back to 2014, and I think that she knows it. And if you've seen her, I know that you would believe it, 'cause I know that you'd want her to. Yeah, I do. Everyone's taking their shot, but missing out on the cut. I think she knows that. She drives them crazy when she's looking like that. The way she's moving makes them want it so bad. It's the attention that we wish that we had. Yeah, it's almost cruel, 'cause I want her to. Oh yeah, I'm running in circles just to make her react. My heart is racing, yeah, I want her so bad. I wanna kiss her, but I know for a fact that she's way too cool. But I want her to. Oh yeah, ripped skinny jeans and tattoos on both her ankles. 21 pilot t-shirt, that's the stuff. Goddamn, she's so fly. Knows how to ride.
What is up, chat? How are we doing? I hope we're doing very good. Guys, I'm sorry I'm late. I know I am a little bit late, but there's a good reason for it, okay? There's a really fantastic reason for it. Are you ready to hear it? Are you ready to hear it? Okay, you guys are gonna be happy. I promise you. I promise you. Oh, there we go. Wait, do you hear me now better? Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Guys, we got some new alerts, okay? we got some new alerts, slight changes, but for this stream, I'm also enabling for the first time ever TTS. So guys, which basically means text to speech. So guys, this is the first time I ever do it, but I think it's gonna be fun. I think Wait, guys, that wasn't meant to happen. Sorry, I had to I was posting a short on YouTube. I was posting a short on YouTube. That wasn't meant to happen. I had to just post one short and then I was gonna go live. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I hope we're doing good. Hello. That is a very old clip. Quick outfit change. No, that is a 2-year change. Hello everybody, hope you're doing fantastic. It is great to see you. This is day number 2 of Freestyle chess. We are gonna be seeing day 2 of the rapid. Guys, I'm not even kidding you. I'm just gonna post my short because that was that was literally what I was doing. Everybody tune in to see my short, okay? Give me a second. I really have to post it. I cannot believe that that literally just happened. That is very, very, very funny. Okay, give me just 1 second, guys. We're gonna post it real quick, and then we are going to go ahead with this, okay? Everybody, I want you all to literally look at my short, okay? I want you all to look at it in just a second when it's up. Okay. Bum. And bum. Okay. Done. Done. Okay. So, everybody, hello. It is great to see you again. This is day 2 of our beautiful, beautiful freestyle chess tournament. I am right now in Germany, and we are about to see some of the greatest players in the world battle it out on freestyle chess, which I am so excited about. They're about to play. It's gonna be so incredibly exciting. If you don't know what this tournament is, it is a huge chess tournament with the best chess players in the world. We have everybody from Magnus Carlsen to Hikaru Nakamura to Vincent Kamer to Gukesh to literally the best chess players in the world, and they're all here in Germany to play this variation of chess called freestyle chess, where all the starting positions are random, which means that there's no chess theory, no memorization, nothing. It's just about coming up with strategies and playing chess. So freestyle means whatever you want it to mean. It means just freestyle, like you're literally freestyling the chess. It's also known as Fisher Random or Chess 960 from the past, but there we go. So they are about to start. There's $750,000 on the line. The winner will literally win $200,000, which is a lot of money. So we're gonna immediately check out how it's going because they're about to start, and I am very excited, and it's very fun to be here and to be able to broadcast this with you guys. We're gonna be checking out all the games today. They're playing rapid today, and today it's gonna be a huge day because 2 people are gonna be knocked out of the tournament. Like today we're gonna say bye-bye to 2 people. So I hope you're ready to say bye-bye to 2 people because that's what's gonna happen. I was just in the playing hall taking some videos of the players entering, and we are now going to watch the games. So I am very excited. How can you join? You cannot join, unfortunately, yet, because it is only for the top players in the world. So we can see that the games have just started. The starting position was position 588, and the players have now had some time to be able to familiarize themselves with the current position. So we're gonna dig in and see a little bit what the commentary is listening to. I have all the feeds from the commentary, and I'm seeing here, we're seeing David Howell, and we're also seeing Dash, who is a long time, you know, esports commentator. He's here, Tanya Sashlev is here, Levy's here, everybody's here, and we are seeing right now Hikaru versus Sindarov. So we're gonna set up that game, and we're gonna go ahead and check out what the starting position was. So let me just put that up. There we go. Here we have the position, and as you can see, the starting position today looked like this. So obviously, if you're a long-time chess fan, you're gonna say, wait, but what is this? Like, this is not normal chess. No, it is normal chess, but the starting position is completely random, hence the name Freestyle. So here we see the queen is starting on a1, bishop here, rook here, king here. The rules of chess still apply. They still can castle. They can castle just like in normal chess, but there's, you know, some other rules. And all normal rules of chess are allowed. So the time control today is 10 minutes plus 10 seconds per move. And it is, now, how many moves have they played? They've played 2 moves? There's no way they've played 2 moves. Okay. There's actually no way they've played, what? Why are we seeing so much thinking? Okay, Sindarov has spent 2.5 minutes now on move number 2. They've played 1 move. Yeah, Sindarov has spent a lot of time here. Coming in here today, I need to show you all the standings because this is incredibly exciting. The standings right now are insane, okay? Like, the standings are completely insane. Look at this. These are the standings. Coming in today, we have Fabiano Caruana and Javakir Sindarov, both on 4.5 points. Then we have Alireza Farouche on 3.5 points. Noterbek on 2.5. Magnus Gukesh, Hikaru, and Vincent on 2 points. And Vladimir Fedosev and Levan Aronian are on 1 point. So if this would finish this way, Vladimir Fedosev and Levan Aronian would be leaving the tournament after today. And also from tomorrow onwards, we're going to be having classical tournaments. So today is the final day of Rapid. And it's going to be really exciting to see who gets knocked out. This is leg number 1 of the Grand Slam Tour, which is going to be a tour throughout this whole year. And the players are not just able to win a lot of money here, but they're also able to win points for this Grand Slam Tour, which is going to have the finals in December. So this is the first leg. And yeah, we see now that the move that Sindarov did was b4. And as I was saying, Sindarov is one of the players that is right now leading the tournament. So he's doing really well. So we're gonna see if he's able to keep this amazing momentum. He's also one of the youngest people here, and he became a grandmaster when he was 12 years old, which I think is really cool. Also, I'm very happy because if you were here yesterday, you will know that I was complaining that there weren't enough snacks over here, and literally the organizers and production listened to me. They heard me rant about how much I'm missing Pringles and snacks, and they literally came to me with a big, like, bowl of snacks. They gave me so much chocolate, and they gave me so many different things, and I was like, wait, they're actually listening. This is crazy. So I'm thankful. Thank you very much for all the chocolate. I appreciate it. It makes me very happy. It makes me very happy, so thank you very much. They've literally been treating us like royalty over here. It's been a lot of fun. I even got my own Freestyle mug with my face! They made it! Like, isn't this so cool? It says Cow Pow! You know, because Cow Power, and then Freestyle, and then it's a picture of me. Isn't this so cool? Like, look at that! I find it amazing. So, yeah, they've literally, like, gone way and beyond for treating us players and streamers as good as possible. So that is really cool. That is really cool. Okay, we've seen a few moves. The few moves that we've seen are b4, a5 instantly by Hikaru, b5, bishop a7, which makes sense to activate this bishop throughout this diagonal, and then now e5. And as you're seeing, there's a lot of question marks that chess.com is giving, but honestly, it doesn't matter, because how do you even analyze what a blunder or inaccuracy is when there's no opening theory? I mean, that's why a lot of players think that this is really exciting, because right now they're instantly just having to think, what is the best way for us to put our pieces? We don't know, we haven't figured it out yet, and they have to come up with that on the spot. So I said it yesterday, but I literally was doing a lot of interviews a couple of days ago, and I'm really excited because my next game is coming up today, and it may or may not be with Magnus Carlsen. Ah! I'm so excited. So that is coming up on my YouTube channel this evening after the stream. I'm very excited. I filmed it a few days ago, and in literally almost every single one of my interviews, I asked them, you know, what do you think about freestyle chess? Like, do you prefer it to classical chess? Do you see it as different? Whatever. And literally, like 80% of the players said that they prefer it to classical chess because you just don't rely on memorization in the same way, and they believe that you actually get to see who the better chess player is in a different way, which to me is really interesting because I didn't know that they actually thought so. Like, I thought it was just maybe 1 or 2 players that thought this way, but it's actually most of the players here believe that freestyle chess shows what your real strength in chess is more than regular chess. So it's actually really interesting. So yeah, we're seeing this right now, and we're seeing the top players compete over here, and there's a lot of games. So really, really, really interesting. Anyways, we're seeing now E3, and I guess the idea of this is going to be soon to try to go D4. Another idea, I suppose, as well, is to prevent this knight from coming up over here, this bishop as well from coming up. So this makes a lot of sense. And then I think, honestly, I quite like this for white because he's got a lot of space on the queen side. This bishop is sniping down all the way here, which honestly, in a lot of positions, you go bishop here, and then you put up a queen and create a little battery. So I like having the bishop here. The rook is really well placed behind this pawn. This knight has a bright future. This bishop is as sad as any chess piece could possibly be, but I'm hoping it gets happy soon. And this knight is doing pretty good. So honestly, most of white's pieces are good, apart from this bishop that definitely needs some spot treatment. No, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that. There's a beautiful spa in this hotel and I really want to go. I'm gonna go one of these days. I don't know why I said that, but anyways, yeah, so this bishop needs a little bit of love, I think, because it's a bit stuck right now. But maybe the bishop will get activated through F2 or through H2. So yeah, we're gonna see. Bishop C5 was Hikaru's last move, and right now the time situation between the two players is really similar. And as you can see, I mean, I just want to say what people are here. Judith Polgar is here. I am having dinner with Judith Polgar every day. Like, what is my life, chat? I don't understand. Judith Polgar is here. You know, we have Peter Liko over here. Gotham Chas is here. The Bota sisters are here. Daniel Naroditsky is here. Like, so many people from the chess world are here. It's actually incredible. I've never seen something like it. Like, most of the top players are here. Yeah, just so many people are here in different roles as either streamers or as commentators or players, and it's just incredible. Like, chat, I was literally playing cards with Levon Aronian and Fabi last night. And, you know, we were a big group of people. But, like, what? Like, that is crazy. That is crazy. Like, it's like, what? It's actually insane. So it's just really fun that we have, you know, like this really wholesome kind of the whole chess community just together in one place. It's a lot of fun. So yeah. Anyways, that's that. Chess players play cards. We do. It's funny because every time we do, everybody's like, wow, I wish we were like documenting this so that the world can see that after the games, players literally are so friendly with each other and play cards at night. And it's like, yes, the whole chess world, guys, it's like a big family. Like, it's very friendly. Even if, you know, you have all this rivalry throughout the chess, it's very friendly. And yeah, I wish someone would film it, but at the same time, it's like, obviously we shouldn't be filming when people are just playing cards and, you know, alone. But like, it's cool. It's cool. And that's why I'm telling you, like, it's very friendly. So yeah. Anyways, we're seeing right now Bishop F7 is the last move that was played. And after this, I guess Hikaru's just trying to activate this bishop. Probably he's saying, hey, this bishop is really good. I want to go bishop g6 and I want to trade off the bishop for this one. And you might say, okay, but Anna, why can Javakir not be greedy and pick up Hikaru's pawn? Well, this is called the Fisher trap. No, I don't know if it's called that, but Fisher once fell into this trap, and then what happens is that you simply go g6, and then your bishop gets, I don't know if it's gonna get trapped, but yeah, it might get trapped. It might get trapped, so it's very, very scary to go for that move. I'm not sure, maybe in this specific position it's fine to do it, but
Yeah, just feels very scary. F3 was played instead, and the idea of this, I'm trying to see, is probably to get this bishop out. If bishop g6, maybe actually we will see knight f5 or knight e4. I don't know. Knight f5 makes a lot of sense because the knight is really well placed over here. So this makes a lot of sense, and the bishop is reinforcing the knight, and now it's forcing this knight to stay, maybe even threatening d4. Honestly, this bishop is like not looking great right now, but it has its own potential. No, actually, after bishop g6, Javakir says, hey, I don't care, we can trade pawns. Probably if takes, he's gonna take with the queen and apply pressure on this pawn, and he's just getting his bishop out and about and saying, hey, I'm gonna castle now, and we're gonna turn into this being a pretty normal chess position, because actually now Javakir could just simply play castles. And here we see Hikaru playing castles, and Javakir might go castles as well, which would be this move. And you might think that castling here is very difficult, but whenever you castle, all you have to think about is that you have to get either to g1 or c1. These are the two squares in freestyle castling. And to do so, you have to like not have, like you have to be able to move around basically. Like here you could also have castle this way. Lightning Gun, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great commentary, Anna. Thank you so much. I'm very happy that we get to watch this tournament together. And I'm also live on YouTube right now. So hello, YouTube. It is great to be live over here and to say hi to you. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Yeah, we're live on both Twitch and YouTube. So chat, can you not say hi, YouTube? It would be fun if you said hi, YouTube, to make YouTube feel appreciated and loved. Yeah, so Rookie 8 is the last move that we saw over here. There we go. Amazing. Amazing. We're getting lots of hi YouTubes. I wish I had my chat on. Okay, I'm just gonna like have YouTube see all of you say hi to make themselves feel good. We're gonna go back in a second. Okay, just keep spamming hi YouTube. Yeah, we're sending you hearts, YouTube. It's great to be here. Okay. All right. Yeah. We're going back now. So a few more moves have happened. We have seen knight e4 threatening the bishop, b6, and it is now time to figure out how will Javakir continue. Is the idea of going rook d1, d4 gonna be a play, or is he simply gonna take on c5 immediately, trade off this knight for this bishop, and then go bam, d4? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like some a4 is possible as well. No, instead he goes knight f5 actually. Javakir goes knight f5. He's placing this knight on a good square. If g6, we can see that this pawn is hanging. So this knight is kind of chilling, saying, hey, there's nobody that can kick me away. Like, I am happy. I'm doing fantastic. You can't kick me away. So that is why he's going here. And yeah, just want to remind everybody, Javakir, he was one of the youngest people in the world to become a grandmaster. When he became a grandmaster, he was the second youngest to become a GM. He was 12 years old. He's from Uzbekistan. Today, he's, I think, 20 years old. He's done amazing performances, very strong grandmaster, but just incredible that he became a GM at 12. Like, it's really cool. So this guy obviously has had a really, really bright career. He was at first not going to play here. Anand was going to play in this tournament, but Anand couldn't play at the end, and therefore, because Javakir got second in the qualifiers after Vladimir Fedosev, he actually got a spot here, and now he's here participating, and not just participating, but literally leading the tournament. This guy that was barely making it to this tournament is right now leading, has right now an advantage against Hikaru Nakamura, and if he wins this game, he might take the sole lead of the whole tournament, which would be huge, literally against the best chess players in the world. So it's really cool. It's really, 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 really cool. So yeah, knight f7 was Hikaru's last move. We're seeing the two players over there, and so far, the time situation is definitely looking very good for Hikaru. Javakir only has 2 minutes left. They're also tuning in to Prague's game versus Fabiano Caruana, and we might tune in over there very soon as well. But before we do that, I am just very proud because Javakir in this position actually play the move that I wanted, or that I thought he was going to do, d4. But anyways, let's tune into Gukesh and to Fabi to see how their chess game is going right now. Let's check out Fabi. There we go. Fabi also right now on 4.5 points, taking a shared lead in the tournament, and this is the current position. So as you can see, this position looks very different from the previous one because, you know, old positions here look very different. And the last move that we saw was that the knight went back. We're seeing right now that Fabi has this really strong c5 pawn. This is literally one of the reasons he has such a good position. If Fabi was able to, if Fabi was able to get this knight to a good square, he would be doing so well. And I think that's why he's going king f2, because he wants to prepare knight e1, knight d3, knight e5, and get this knight onto a good square. Because with the knight on e5, there's no pawn that can kick it away. Like d6, haha, I'll take it. Like, you can't kick it away. This knight is amazing over here. You can't do it. What is this bishop doing? What is Gukesh's bishop doing? Nothing. That's why Gukesh says, listen, before this bishop gets trapped here forever and cries a million tears, I'm going to go e5 and I'm going to force this bishop to have a life, because otherwise it's going to cry. But what happens then? Well, what happens is that, let's say that you would take here queen takes e5, you get the square for the knight, which I don't know if you want to do right now, but you will get the square forever. And these pawns are looking so sad. Like, if right now you end up trading everything, yeah, it's going to be a lot of pawns. But the issue now is that c5 is also weak. So maybe, I don't know if you want to go some d4 as well. I'm not sure. But yeah. Oh, wait, you guys are not seeing this position, are you? Sorry. I thought I had this on. Okay, sorry. I thought I had this on. You guys didn't see all my arrows. Okay. Okay, that's that. So, hey, I am in Platinum and League in chess. If I was white, I would move queen b4. Okay, so it is fantastic to be Platinum in League. I actually haven't seen anyone talking about what position they are in the leagues, but that is great. That is great. Queen b4, the problem with this move is that you can instantly get kicked out because of knight c6 or knight d5. So it's just a little bit annoying that you're placing your queen in a place where you just are able to get kicked out. But yeah, where's the Evil Born Corona versus Gukesh? Here it is. I'm sorry, I just didn't have it up. But here it is. So instead, queen b2 is the move that is played. And now this is really smart, because Fabi's saying, hey, instead of me taking and allowing your queen to become beautiful and getting my knight on f4, I'm gonna say, if you actually now end up taking over here, I will take back with the knight. And when I take back with the knight, I've gained this move. My queen is better here. It's gonna be able to come up to f6. And we see now a few fast moves being played. So e4 is obviously the downside of going queen b2 first, because you allow for this move to happen. Bishop e2, and now b4, knight e1. The moves are happening quickly, and now the idea is going to be for Fabi probably to go at some point knight c2, knight d4 without losing this pawn. So maybe we will see, yeah, I don't really know exactly how we will see this. I'm trying to think of something like a5. Oh, right now the threat for Fabi is actually to place the queen all the way on g7 and just enter black's position. And now it's just, actually this king is ultra safe with all these pawns. This queen is just completely crushing black's position. And it is, oh, they're blitzing out some moves. Yeah, and it would just be really good. So that's why Gukesh ends up taking this rook. King takes back. There's still the threats of the queen coming in here and annoying a lot, which is why king f8 is the best move actually right now for Gukesh. But now we're seeing that this is looking now a little bit more like a normal chess game. But I definitely prefer white because of how safe this king is. This king is very much more unsafe. But with this pawn on e4 over here, this pawn is very weak, because whenever we try to go d4, this pawn is going to amp pisanas and be very annoying. So yeah, that's that. That's I think the situation at this moment in time. So yeah, let's see what Gukesh ends up doing right now. As you can see, the players are wearing these really cool blazers, which they're provided. He goes king f8, the best move, which they're provided from by the organizers so that they, you know, always look good in these blazers, which I think is awesome. I think it's great that the players are dressing up and everything. So yeah, they all have a different color as well, which I think is pretty cool. But I like Gukesh's red blazer. I think it looks good. I like all the blazers, honestly. Would you prefer Fabi or Gukesh's bishop? I definitely prefer Fabi's bishop. Ooh! I got scared. Wait, did you guys hear the sound? I want to hear if my notifications are, if you can hear them. Yeah, I got scared. Okay, no, you don't hear it? Okay, Anonymous, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Hi Pretty Lady. I'm from Norway. Hello. Thank you, Anonymous, for gifting that person a sub. I appreciate it. Okay, I guess I'll leave desktop audio on there so you guys can hear if we have another notification. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, 98 was... 98 was the last move that we saw. And now Fabi's saying, hey, I'm gonna be greedy. I'm gonna pick up the pawn. I'm just gonna pick up the pawn. Like, I'm not gonna care about anything else. Guys, I will be honest and say that I am pretty sure this was not virtual. I will bet almost anything on that not being virtual. So, yeah, we're gonna move on, but I would bet almost anything on that. What is Fabi doing? He's picking up pawns like it's dominoes. This is fantastic. 2 pawns up for Fabi. But now the king is getting out, and surprisingly, the engine does not think that this is any better for Fabi. He's 2 pawns up in this position, and to me, it looks like it would be a lot better. But now this king is becoming weaker. Now the rook can come in, the queen can come in, the knight can come in, and this pawn is weak. And actually, somehow, the engine thinks that black has so much compensation that this is totally fine, which is really surprising to me. I'd be happy with the 2 extra pawns. You can even go queen e5 at some point and exchange it. But yeah, so that is really, really, really interesting to me. Right now, the time situation is 1:50 for both players. I do think that this could give some good practical chances for Fabi, because obviously it's going to require now for Gukesh to play this really well to be able to survive with 2 pawns down. But some players are really good when they're down material and just have activity. So it all depends on the style of play. So bishop c4, sorry, was the last move. I like Fabi's idea of trying to trade off as many pieces as possible. I really like that idea. I'm seeing right now Hikaru kind of looking around, shaking his head a little bit, which is making me really intrigued. I hope the broadcast goes back to Hikaru so we can check out his game soon. But I'm right now just following the main broadcast. So bishop e6 was the last move. Now there's some trades going on. Queen e5. Fabi's just going for the old rule of chess of trading as much as possible. Why broadcast this on 3 channels? Because the more the better. You get to choose what kind of style of commentary you enjoy. Do you enjoy really professional commentary? Well, then there's a channel for you. Do you enjoy a lot of people commentating at the same time? Well, then there's another channel for you. Do you enjoy seeing me commentating? Well, then there's another channel for you, you know? Like, there's channels for everybody, which I think is good. So, queen e5 was the last move that was played. And... now, Gukesh has, less than a minute left. He needs to make a choice. I think he needs to trade queens, because if this queen is able to come up to d6, come on, this king is at a party he's not wanting to be in. Like, this king is just not good. The king is just not surviving. So queen d6 is just right now a really big threat. So I think if you go away, I mean... bam, like, what are you gonna do? Like, everything is falling apart. It's a disaster. You can't do that. So I think that we're gonna see, okay, we're seeing rook g8, but now queen b5, maybe there's gonna be some stuff. I don't know if queen b5, if you can go d3, because once again, if takes, queen check, you cannot go there. You have to go king f7. There's this kind of stuff, and okay, this actually looks quite good for white in my opinion. This pawn is gonna be able to push. We're seeing now Gukesh with, only very little time on the clock left, 36 seconds on the clock. He ends up going queen b5 check, and we're seeing this whole variation that I showed you, king f7. I think we're going to see now queen takes d3 being played by Fabi. Will he play it? We will see. We will see. We have right now also a beautiful prime sub by Clay Plays. Thank you so much for the prime. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you a lot for the prime. And he's thinking right now, he has 2 minutes. He has way more time than Gukesh has right now. So, will he take the pawn? Will he take the pawn, or what will he do? What is Fabi about to do? What is Fabi about to do? He's taking his moment. Queen takes d3. He could also go knight takes d3, obviously, but then the scary part is that this knight comes in, and this king that was so beautiful is now getting a little bit, it's getting a little bit weak. So he's really thinking about this. Obviously, there's a lot to consider, but I really like this queen takes d3 move. It makes so much sense, in my opinion, when you're having this extra pawn to just keep everything safe, especially considering how weak this king is. Unless you're right now with white trying to play against this king. But queen takes d3 just looks so logical. So, let's see. Let's see what will happen. What will happen? Fabi's thinking less than 58 seconds left. Less than 58 seconds left. 53, 52, 51, 50. Time is ticking. Time is ticking. He's still not made a move. He has less time than Gukesh right now. And he's still considering his options, and he goes queen takes d3, and look at Gukesh. He blitzes out queen c6, e4. Now, I guess that's why Fabi was considering, because I didn't see this move, but he probably got scared about this queen coming in, and with the queen on d6, you're preventing this. But now Fabi instantly goes e4, blocking this. The idea being that if you go now knight over here, you have rook c4, and now if the knight moves somewhere, you can go knight f3 and keep everything nice and protected. Can you go knight f3 over here? Yes, you can as well, but the issue is this crazy move, knight d2, wow. And if you take, then it's going to be a disaster. So what happened? Knight takes e4 is on the spot, and now if knight f3, chat, there is this move, knight d2, which is crazy. The idea being that this would actually end up being a perpetual, I believe. Will it be a perpetual? I'm not sure. Maybe it's not a perpetual, but this is just completely insane. So if he goes knight f3, there is this move, knight d2. If queen takes, you lose. So the best move now for Fabi is to go rook c4 and threaten this. And he goes rook c4, the best move in the position. Fabi finds it. Fabi's too good at chess. He finds the best move, now taking an advantage against Gukesh. And now Gukesh has to go back. He cannot go anywhere else. He's gonna have to go back. Where else is he gonna go? If he goes knight c3, well then knight f3, and this knight is coming alive. But even this just looks so good, because these squares are just amazing for the knight. So Gukesh has now 14 seconds to go. The time is ticking. He has less than 10 seconds. He has to make a choice. He's stressed. He has to make a move. He goes knight takes c5, missing queen h7 check. This is a blunder, everybody, and this is what happens when you have little time left. Will Fabi find queen h7 check coming in with the queen? That's why you had to go knight f6 to prevent this. Queen h7 check. He finds it. He finds it. He picks. He goes check. I don't know where he goes. Now he has to go queen h7. It's the only good move right now. Will he do it? Yes, he does. And now after queen h7 check, the king goes to f8. He should pick up this pawn and just be happy with all the extra pawns he has. But he has to find this idea to be able to get an advantage, which is really difficult because queen h1 looks terrifying. It looks as if it's terrifying to allow the queen to come all the way over here and leave all these pawns. So this is very difficult to calculate with such little time, but the queen on h5 is preventing the queen from checking over here on this diagonal, and Fabi, as good as he is, finds it. And even if the engine is saying that is the best move, it's really scary to allow the queen to come in here. Like, this is not an easy decision to make. This is not an easy decision to make at all for Fabi. So it's very impressive, in my opinion, that he's finding all of this. Very impressive. And now if the rook comes into g2, okay, the king will go to d1. And this king is completely naked. This queen is hanging. It's going to be Fabi, I believe, that's going to win this game and take the advantage completely. Like, if Fabi wins this, he's going to be on 5.5 out of 6, which is crazy. He has now 42 seconds versus 15. So I think Gukesh is right now. Yeah, I mean, now you can just pick up the knight with check. I mean, Fabi's a piece up with check. And now he even has 45 seconds to figure this out. He's going check again, and if now Gukesh doesn't go king e7, it's going to be a checkmate in a few moves, but I mean, this is almost a position that I think Gukesh would resign. Almost. Maybe it's not going to resign here, but it almost looks resignable. He has to go king e7. Any other move is a checkmate. But after king e7, the king is just so weak as well. Because, I mean, don't you have... I think you also have queen h... Don't you have queen h7 check? And now king f6 is the only move. I guess the rook is hanging. I mean, I guess it's still a little bit tricky. But, yeah. Just... Let's see. I guess the king has to go to e7. Again. I get why Gukesh isn't resigning. I mean, obviously there's still some checks and stuff like to be aware of, but 3 seconds. He makes a move with 3 seconds on the clock. He goes king e7. And Fabi now has some time to figure this out. And honestly, actually, like, even if the engine is saying this is completely winning, there's a lot of ways Fabi can go wrong here too. This position really calls for some accurate play, because now let's say that Fabi would go something like rook c2, then there's queen d5 check, and actually after queen a4 over here, like, this is hanging, you're stopping the checks, like, it's not as clear. So he goes queen h7, king f6, and now he has to find this idea of rook c7. He doesn't. He goes queen d3, which should be enough as well. But it's, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's enough as well because you're centralizing the queen. But definitely requires some accurate play when this king is just so weak right now. So rook goes now to g3. He's sacrificing the rook with the idea that Fabi's rook is also hanging. But now this king is very weak, and you can go something like queen d4 check and just tie the king down. I guess the idea was that after queen d4 check, maybe he wanted to go, okay, queen here over here as well, because now if this, I suppose you have queen g8 check. And yeah, I mean, this game is so weird because the rooks are constantly hanging. He goes queen f5, king f5 instead, but now rook c5. Doesn't that look really good? He does end up going rook c5, which I think makes all the sense in the world. And I think we're going to see king g4. And then I think we're going to see, but I guess the king is going to hide on h3. But there is this move, rook g5 check, now trading the rooks and allowing the queen to come in. So let's see what Fabi ends up doing. This is the kind of position where you just think the opponent is going to resign at any point, but the game keeps going. So yeah, it's not as easy as it may seem. It's not as easy as it may seem, to be fair. So Fabi's right now trying to figure it out. He goes rook g5, the best move, and now the only thing he can do to get a really big advantage is to trade the rooks, and he does trade the rooks. And now there's this great move, queen g5 check, locking in this king. And will he do the move? Will he do the move? Will he find queen g5 check? He has 12 seconds left. Literally the only move that gives him a clear advantage. All other moves, he doesn't do it! Oh my. People told me yesterday that you can hear my screams. This is what I'm saying. In chess, anything can happen. He doesn't realize that now it's time for the king to be bottled up. And now the queen goes to b1 check. And this is almost going to be a repetition. Why? Well, it's not going to be a repetition. Is it going to be a repetition? It might be a repetition. His idea, I suppose, I'm not even sure what his idea is, because if knight c2, then I suppose that there's b3. This can end up becoming a complete draw, everybody, between Fabi and Gukesh. this would be a very sad result for Fabi if it ends up becoming a draw. It would be a result that he's definitely not happy with, and it looks like Gukesh knows that this is a draw now. It looks as if he's pulling his sleeves up and knows what has happened. Queen e4 check, it's repetition. Fabi put himself in a repetition position. Queen takes f4, now one pawn falls down. It was crucial for Fabi to bring in the queen and attack the king and lock the king up, but now it's repetition, and we see that even players of this caliber make these mistakes at the very end of the game. So this was actually a very shocking end to the game. I thought Fabi was for sure going to win this, but that is why this is so exciting. In rapid chess, anything can happen, and this one inaccuracy of pushing up the pawn instead of bringing the queen in is going to be a move that Fabi is going to have nightmares about. Maybe that's a bit extreme, but he's at least not going to be very happy about it. So, yeah, he's probably very sad right now. And this is why, everybody, this is why you don't give up. We always have people saying, oh, you should give up. No, in chess, you never give up. Not until the very end. And I think, honestly, it's one of the things I hate the most about what chess has become, in a way, that people always say, oh, time for this person to give up. As a chess player, you learn that you should never give up. And that is really important to know. So, yeah, never give up. This is what happens when you keep pushing forward. Great game. Very exciting game, though. Very exciting game. And yeah, it's gonna finish up now. It's gonna finish up. And Fabi's probably very sad that he didn't manage to pull it through. Oh, sorry, my overlay is a little bit messed up. I apologize. There we go. And yeah, now it's gonna be repetition. And there we see him. And they shake hands, and it becomes a draw, everybody. Gukesh clutches the draw. He saves the draw, and Fabi probably very unhappy with that. If he would have won, he would have had the chance of becoming a sole leader in the tournament. And now that chance for now is ruined. So, gets the draw. Let's see how it went for Sindarov, because that was the other player that could have gone that draw before. So, yeah, there we go. Why did Engine say King D1 a miss? Well, because here he could have tried to go Knight C2, but that is a very difficult thing, I guess, to do if you see the move B3. Here, apparently, Queen G5 is fine, but you need to understand that even if these players are the best chess players in the world, when you have 10 seconds left on the clock, it's impossible to calculate all of these checks. Like, these humans are humans, they're not machines. Impossible to calculate 20 checks forward. So, even if it's... Yeah, it just was too difficult, and it's very difficult to make Knight C2 with B3 coming up, so that is the reason. But King D1 is the most logical move in the world to do. So we're gonna now go to the next game. There are still games that are ongoing, but we have Magnus Carlsen, who did win against Noterbeck, so that result is done. I believe Javakir and Hikaru made a draw. So now Javakir and Fabi together are the leaders. And then we have, this game finished as well. Alireza Firouzja beat Vladimir Fedosev. And then the last one that we have is Vincent Kamer, I believe, beat Levon Aronian. And so the current standings right now, we're just going to update them really quickly, is going to update those really quickly for you. The current standings right now are Fabiano Caruana and Javakir Sindarov with 5 points. They're together on 5 points, taking the lead of the tournament, but followed really closely by Alireza Firouzja, who has 4.5 points. And these three people are right now dominating. We have in the 4th place Magnus Carlsen and Vincent Kamer, both on 3 points, followed by Noterbeck, Gukesh, and Hikaru on 2.5. And Vladimir Fedosev and Levon Aronian are still in the last spots. And soon it's going to become too late for them to catch up. So if they want to keep going in this tournament, if they want to not get knocked out today, it is going to be crucial for them now to score a lot of points in the last 3 rounds. It's the time for them to score is running out. There's 3 more rounds today. and then the rapid portion of this whole event is going to be finished, and the people that are placed 9th and 10th will be knocked out before the classical portion starts. And the classical portion will start tomorrow. So we're gonna listen up a little bit to the commentary, see what the commentators are talking about, and then I'm gonna give you guys a little tour of the whole place because I wasn't able to yesterday.
Above them, so yeah, they got to start winning.
Yeah, we can get an update on those standings just so we can get some numbers to it all and see exactly where everybody rests within the standings. There you have it. We still have Fedoseev and Aronian down there at one point, but that goes to Levy's a point that he just made, right? At the end of the day, you're not really chasing the top two, right, when it comes to qualification for the quarterfinals. Your concern is just the people who are around you in the standings. And so that four-way tie for 5th at 2 points apiece has now been reduced to a three-way tie at 2.5 for 6th place currently between Noterbeck, Gukesh, and Hikaru. And then Fedoseev and Aronian, I mean, at this point, time is starting to run thin for them, right? We got 3 more games to go. You're 1.5 points out of the current 8th place position, and that's assuming that none of those players put more points on the board.
That's exactly right. I think in the previous round, they were 1 point out from 8th.
Exactly.
Yeah, another 1.5. So have they played each other?
I just wanted to mention they play each other next round. Those two at the bottom. It's must win, do or die.
Yeah,
I think you just have a gentleman's agreement. Like, one of us has to win. I mean,
it gives us a shot.
I mean, that's match fixing, but you know, they're both gonna for all out because
yes, that's the agreement. Is that we're both gonna come out here throwing haymakers and trying to knock the other one out.
Yeah, exactly. One of them will have to go home, and by go home I mean probably join the commentary because it's in their contract or something.
Right.
Vladimir and Levin to have a winner.
Beautiful resort, take it in. I think too, though, then that's going to make me very curious to see what this next lottery will be, and maybe put a spotlight on that matchup in particular, because the two are facing elimination. We can maybe evaluate the position from their perspective. Again, I know that Levon Aronian is always looking for an imbalance, and so maybe we try to create that ourselves as we take a look at the position when the lottery comes through. But either way, it's absolute do or die time for them. And this is where I will always come back to looking at a player's veteran stats.
Okay, so chat. We have here the amazing commentators. They're sitting literally in one of the rooms next to me. We have all these different booths, chat. We have all these different booths. They literally created this booth for me. I want to show you a little bit how it looks like now as we're waiting for round number 7 to start. I'm gonna give you guys a little tour of my boots so you got to see it. Guys, look at this, okay? Look at the poster that they created for me. Look at that. Cow pow! This is the poster that they created over here for me. They've given me like this little thing. They gave me some water over there. They've given me like this whole bowl of snacks, which I think is really kind. They're literally treating us like royalty over here, and the whole hotel and everything is absolutely amazing. Like, I don't think I've ever stayed in such a fancy hotel. I'm not used to staying in this amount of fancy hotels. It's a 5-star hotel. Beautiful. It's honestly incredible. And the food is amazing. The food is amazing. Like, we're getting literally Michelin star food every day. The restaurant has a Michelin star, and they're giving us amazing food every single day. I've had all kinds of different fishes and all kinds of different, I don't know what. It's completely crazy. I don't know. We are, we're getting spoiled. We're literally getting spoiled. It's amazing. So, yeah, like, I'm so thankful to be here. So happy that they invited me. And I'm going to give you guys a little tour of how the actual playing hall works. I wanted to give it to you yesterday, but we were having some issues then. But now I'm going to give you a tour of how the actual playing hall looks. So, are you ready? Are you ready to see it? I hope you are. Hopefully it works. There we go. This is me walking around yesterday. And this is where the players actually are right now. So there's a little finger over there. That's Jules' finger. She was filming this for me. They have this little cool snack room. They have all the posters of the players. And then you walk out over here, and then you see here a bunch of people. They have like these cool statues everywhere. We're really seeing the finger over there, but that's okay. Don't look at it. Here we see where they're playing. These are the tables. So this was Gukesh versus Noterback yesterday. I love the tables, by the way. I love how much space they have and how they've set up the beautiful names as well. And then you walk over here, and then, yeah, you have a lot of people, a lot of camera people, a lot of media. You have some of the extras and stuff, coaches or like family or whatever, some media. Here you have another board. This was Alireza versus Levan Aronian yesterday. Then I was walking around. I wasn't really sure exactly where to go. And then we went to a different one. And here we have a different table and a camera person standing next to me. And then I wasn't really sure. Then we have Sugar from Chess Base India. And here we have a little, you know, yeah, pan of the whole room. And that is the video. That was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Well done. Thank you very much. I'll film more videos and show you every day. I'll try to show you guys these videos. In fact, there's actually one more video that I would like to show you. I just want to see that they haven't started yet. Thank you so much. No big deal, buddy, for the sub. Okay, we're not gonna show the other video now. I'll show it to you in the next break, because we right now have the next game, which is starting right now, and we do not want to miss that. So let's go ahead and check it out. Look at this, everybody. It has started. So the position is gonna be position 7, 8, 9, and we see now all the players, they're sitting and analyzing this position right now.
I actually feel like in E4, E5 structures, it's kind of tricky, right? With F5, H5 squares. Okay,
guys, so there are some audio clicks. I'm sorry about that. I'm not really sure why that happens, but I'm sorry about that. I can try to not make it as loud.
G6 and to 93, 94. 93 first. Okay, now.
H2 singing, no?
H2 was singing, yeah. You can need to go.
So actually, even if you play something like knight G3 and 93, H5 could, bishop is maybe here.
So here you guys get to see all the different people discussing the moves, and the idea here is actually that everybody that's playing with the white pieces are able to sit by one couch, everybody's playing with the black pieces are sitting by another couch, and then they get to discuss with the other people playing with the white pieces what they're gonna do in this position. So let's look at this position. The king is actually on its regular spot, which is and the rook on A1 is on its regular spot as well. So we do actually have a few similarities with the regular setup of chess. The queen is right next to the rook. Yeah, we have the knights. I actually think this position looks pretty nice and decent. I do like that the rook is on A1. We have Levy over here. Wait, I want to see if Levy wants to join my broadcast. Levy just joined Chess Base India. It's fine. We'll call for Levy. We'll try to get him to come here as well a little bit later. But yeah, okay, so we're seeing here all the players talking about what they want to do. We're seeing that they're talking a lot about moving up those pawns in front of the rook and the queen, probably to get those pieces active very early on. So yeah, they're sitting over there. I think this is so cozy. Like, they're literally sitting and discussing what moves they should do. Like, isn't that the most wholesome thing ever? It is very surprising, obviously, for a tournament like this to be able to discuss the opening with the other players. But the reason they do this is because they're completely unfamiliar with this position, and you don't have to do it. Like, there's people that don't discuss it with others, but it's a way for them to be able to brainstorm before it starts, because it would be very difficult if everybody just got a new position randomly and wasn't able to think about it and just had to go immediately into it. So yeah, we are going to see what happens. Levin is really thinking. Now there's a crucial moment for Levin and Fedosov to get back. They're both on only 1 point, and they need to win now some games to come back and have a chance of staying in this tournament. So it is now time for Levin and Fedosov to give it their everything, because if they don't, they will get knocked out and they will have to maybe join the commentary team or do other things in this tournament than playing chess. So I'm not sure exactly what the players do if they get knocked out. I think they're then, you know, gonna join the content team and do some content or whatever. I'm not sure, but they are still staying here, so I guess they're gonna do something apart from like going to the spa and relaxing if they get knocked out. So I am yeah, they obviously want to keep on playing and keep on participating, so we will see if they're able to make a comeback. We are gonna see that. When they discuss the position they're about to play, yes, they're discussing the position they are about to play. And it's not like you can take this knowledge for the next games, because the position changes every time, obviously. So it's going to start very soon. We see there Noterbeck and Levon Aronian. They're discussing as well. And Ali Ressa is standing there, very excited, saying, wait, but what happens if you just go something like bishop c2 and you place the queen and the bishop on the same diagonal? That looks very nice, creating that beautiful battery together. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Someone is asking, where's Gukesh? Actually, I've seen that Gukesh sometimes doesn't join this group talk and sometimes sits alone and thinks by himself. But he might be there, but I've seen before that sometimes he sits by himself. I guess everyone has a different tactic and likes to. Some people maybe don't want to share their ideas with everybody else, or feel like maybe other people's ideas get too much into their head. So I guess everybody has a different approach, which I also fully understand. I love the jackets, chat. I think the jackets are beautiful. The jackets are beautiful. I love them. How many days is this competition in Weissenhaus? It's gonna go on for, I think, like 5 more days. I think till the 14th it's going on. So very, 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 very fun. Today's the final rapid day. They are definitely playing mini games between themselves, but I find this so wholesome in a way. I find it very wholesome. It's like getting pro chess players to do a group activity together. And if you could pick a color jacket, what would you pick? Oh, what would I pick? Ooh, that's a good question. What would I pick? I think I'd pick Ali Rasa's jacket. I'd pick an orange one. I like the kind of retro style of orange. Yeah, I think white or orange. One of those two. I like white clothes as well. I think they look good. Like Magnus' jacket, I think looks fantastic. I think I'd go for one of those. Yeah. And I sent you the videos from yesterday. Thank you so much. I'll check them out. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Why are they all discussing? Because this is freestyle chess. They're going to discuss for a couple more minutes, and then after that, the games are going to start. Thank you, Call Me Juice, so much for resubscribing 2 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Look at those emotes like flying over the pieces. That is kind of beautiful. And we have Skip with the Prime as well. Thank you so much, Skip. That is amazing. I appreciate you putting your primes over here, chat. Putting your subs and primes. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And can you give us a bit more insight into this freestyle format? Do you know how many Well, they're going for 959 different starting positions. There's one that is too similar to normal chess that they're not going for, but they're going for 959 different positions. In fact, during the press conference, the opening ceremony, I was there, they were going to go for 958, but they were going to go for all positions basically. Thank you so much, Casa Rondon, for the prime. They were going to go for all positions basically apart from the one with only the queen and king being exchanged in their possession. But as soon as the arbiter said this, the players started going, no, we want that position. It changes so much if the queen and king are switched. Like, we want that. And literally in the opening ceremony, the arbiter said, okay, if the players want it, we'll change it. There's 959 possible now. So the tournament is very much made so that the players get to decide what they want. And they're always saying, like, it's a tournament made by the players for the players in a way. So yeah, Oscar Bakoyoy, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you. Are there arbiters? There absolutely is a very professional arbiter there that's walking around. They have a lot of very strict, like, you're not allowed, obviously, any single phone over there. Nobody's allowed a phone. Like, it's very, very, very strict. So it's, yeah, it's, obviously, there's arbiters and stuff. Okay. Let's see. We have now the games starting. They're checking out Levon Aronian versus Vladimir Fedosev. Let's check this out. This is going to be a big game because these two players are right now the bottom two. So if one of them gets a point, they're going to get at least closer to catching up to the other players. And it's going to be really important for one of these to get a point, I think. I think, honestly, the person that doesn't win this game, it's almost like they're out of the tournament at this point. Like, if one of these people lose, because there's only going to be 2 rounds left, it's going to be very hard to catch up. Obviously not impossible, but difficult. So let's put this game up, everybody, so you can see it. There we go. This is the position. C4 was the first game by Levon, and then knight G6. And we were seeing that people such as, some people were saying that C4 was a good move to be able to place this bishop on C2 very early on and get the queen and bishop to work together in a battery format. So, this was discussed, I saw a lot in the analysis right before. So let's see now what Levon does. Will he go bishop C2? Will he go maybe B3 to go bishop B2, bishop C2? I like this a lot, actually. These two bishops sniping down. I love that, actually. I think that looks very good. Maybe he'll go F6 and E5. I don't know. But this I like a lot, honestly. So Levon is thinking, what will he do? Spending a little bit of time over here. Okay. So let me just put myself up over. I think I'm just gonna place myself over here. Thank you so much to Tommy for the 100 bits. Since I got my Anna merch mug, my puzzle eel already went up by 200 points coincidence. I don't think so. Tommy, I love that. I hope that my merch makes you all improve at chess. That's my goal, you know? For you all to look ready for your chess tournaments and improve at chess by looking awesome. So thank you. I'm happy you like your mug. And if any of you want to get any of my merch, AnnaKremling.com is where you can get my merch, where you can get my hoodies, my mugs, everything. So AnnaKremling.com, everybody. That's the place to go. Okay, so he goes for B4, a little bit more aggressive. I like this move B3, but Aronian is feeling like winning, and he wants to go B4, and then gonna go bishop C2, probably bishop B2, and we're gonna see a similar idea of these two bishops sniping down the whole position, but with him getting a little bit more space. Maybe the idea is gonna be for him to go A3 and C5, create something like this. So, yeah, there we have it. There we have it. They're kind of looking out to see what other positions there are to look at. So let's see which one they end up picking. Why is Arjun guys not there? Well, I mean, Arjun guys, like, you know, there's so many top players here. Arjun could definitely be here, I'm sure. But yeah, he didn't qualify later on either. So yeah, it just didn't happen, but I mean, it's one of the players that definitely could be here. All right, so Magnus, we have Magnus over here. He's playing Alireza Firusha We all know the lore between Magnus and Alireza, and if you don't know, I'll tell you now. Magnus, when he won the World Chess Championship a few years ago versus Nepo in Dubai, I was actually there, he said that he will only play the World Chess Championship match again if it is against Alireza Firouzja. Anybody else and he will drop out. People thought he was joking. People thought he was kidding. What happened? Nepo won again. He was going to play against Nepo, and Magnus, like he said, very much did drop out of the World Chess Championship. He resigned his title and said he's not going to play the match again. And so Firouzja's always been the person that Magnus really, really believes in and really has gone, he's really believed in him, and he's really believed that he's going to be like the next maybe world champion, or that he's going to be like this. He is obviously a huge prodigy, but yeah, Magnus has always wanted to play him. So it's always fun to see Magnus versus Firouzja, in my opinion. Always really fun to see that. Okay, so we're seeing also over here the same thing. Firouzja went for the same thing, c4 and b4. I feel like they talked about this. Because we're seeing the exact same thing. And now bishop c2. And I guess the idea is going to be to go maybe knight d2, knight b3. Maybe there's a place, because this knight is not so well placed on e3 because it's blocking this bishop. So I guess this knight might want to come up to b3. Maybe that is going to be the idea. We're gonna check that out. We're gonna see a little bit here. Magnus has lost almost half of his time. He's only on 6 minutes now, and it's he's on 3 out of 6 points. He's playing Alireza Firouzja, who's doing fantastic this tournament so far. I honestly have to say, I love, like, Alireza has really cool style. Like, I love his glasses and everything. It looks awesome. Are they allowed engines when discussing? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It was funny because in the opening ceremony, the arbiter basically went, we ask you to not have your phones. And then he said, actually, we don't ask you. It is completely forbidden. No phones, no engines. You're obviously completely forbidden from using engines whilst, you know, your first 10 minutes of discussing. And he was saying, like, all the consequences of if you do that. But it was just really funny how he started trying to be nice and being like, we ask you to not use engines during the discussion time. And then he immediately made it very clear that, like, no, like, completely forbidden. So yeah. So here to castle, what you would need to do is that you would need to move this knight. As soon as this knight goes over here, then castling is going to be allowed, because there's not going to be any pieces in between the king and the rook. As long as there's no pieces in between the king and the rook, the king can castle in freestyle chess. Imagine Bobby Fischer played this tournament. Bobby Fischer would have loved this tournament. He's the person that came up with this. This format is Bobby Fischer's. It used to be called Fischer Random. It's literally Bobby Fischer that invented this. So I am sure that Bobby Fischer's dream would have been to have a Fischer Random tournament amongst the best chess players in the world, and for Fischer Random chess to be taken seriously. So yeah, he would have absolutely loved it. It's the same thing as Fischer Random does. This is the exact same thing. Alright, so e4 was the last move. Alireza taking a lot of space, and it's looking like Magnus is a little bit set back. He's also spending a lot of time. I don't know if it means he's not happy with the position, or maybe it means that he's just trying to figure out the best way of getting out his pieces. But definitely, like, this knight is not getting out anytime soon with this pawn on e6. He ends up going for this move, knight f4, threatening actually nothing, but placing his knight in a better square, especially now that g3 cannot be played. So this makes sense, and it's not like you really, I think, want to take here, because then the queen comes up and becomes very active. So at least I don't think you want to take. Maybe you do, I'm not sure. Maybe actually it's completely fine to take and go knight e3 and then just castle, and maybe go c5. You know, like, maybe this is actually completely fine. So we're going to see what he does. No, he doesn't want to take. He goes knight e3, keeping his bishop, which also is nice because you might, in some positions, want to go bishop a3. And look at the bishop and the queen on this diagonal. Like, look at these two pieces. I think they're just really good in this diagonal. So, yeah. Very, 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 very strong. And I do think the growth of this forum will generally contribute to a more positional understanding of the game by the players. I do. I do. I honestly think that, like, the more I've seen this, like, and I said it before, I think that freestyle chess doesn't make as much sense for players that are lower rated. Like, I think it does in the sense that it's really fun. But I think what we truly get to see now, that we don't get to see in a lot of classical tournaments, is players being put in uncomfortable positions and seeing how they get out of it. And we see that to some extent, but we very rarely see that in the openings nowadays because of just how much opening knowledge there is with just one starting position. It's impossible to memorize all opening knowledge for 960 positions. So in a way, I think you get to test different skills in players that you don't get to test in the same way in classical chess, which maybe is controversial. I don't know. Maybe this is a controversial opinion, but I've actually always been of this opinion. I don't think it applies at my level or if you're lower rated, because we make enough mistakes anyways. Even like 2400, so you make enough mistakes at 2400. But when you are one of the best 10 players in the world, when you're at this level, I think it's different. So, like if you're, 500 rated, I don't think it's as interesting with freestyle chess. But I think when you reach a certain level, it becomes, and this is my opinion. You don't have to have this opinion. Everybody has a different opinion about this, but I've really come to enjoy more and more freestyle chess and chess 960. And also growing up, my dad, he would always love Fischer random chess, and he always said that it was like the best variant of chess. So I've always liked this, to be honest. Anna, why is Magnus so low on the clock? That is the question. Maybe because he doesn't like his position. Maybe because he doesn't like it. Okay, so he's now placing another knight on h4, and now with these two knights over here, he's very much forcing this knight to stay so that the pawn on g2 is going to be protected. So these knights are kind of annoying, and they're annoying also because how do you get rid of them? Like, let's say now we go knight e2 as white. Okay, well then actually you can go knight f takes g2, which looks crazy, with the idea of knight f3 check and queen takes h2. Completely insane. It's actually a really beautiful idea. Let's say you do something else. Yeah, now this doesn't work, but you cannot move this knight, which means that right now you cannot go g3 and kick these knights away. That's why Magnus is going for this, because these knights are very strong over here. These knights are very, very, very strong over here. The thing also is that players struggle with time all the way from the opening, because you don't get to see these like playing 20 moves really quickly because theory. No, players are struggling all the way from move number 1 because they're trying to understand what the best chess continuation is from a certain position. So yeah, it's very interesting in my opinion. It's very interesting. Okay, so queen d1 was played over here by Alireza Firouzja, maybe with the idea of placing the queen on g4 and start targeting some of these knights. Also with the idea of not having knight f3 in the same way anymore. Like, I guess now if some random move is played, I guess you can go for this, because now obviously there's no knight f3 check because we pick it up. So yeah, queen d1 I really like. Knight h5 I think is now the threat to get rid of one of these knights. And what is Magnus going to do? What is Magnus going to do here? Let's say he goes something like queen c7 just to play a move. I mean, Firouzja might even start by going d5, and now look at this bishop. And if you take like this, I mean, wow, this is incredible. If you take like this, this square now just becomes the greatest square ever for white's knight, and this knight is literally worth so much. Like, this would almost, in my opinion, be winning for Firouzja. This knight is so strong with this bishop looking down all the way to black's king, threatening this. Like, I would do anything for this knight. I would almost give up a rook for this knight. This knight is amazing. So it's very nice, all the different ideas that there are for white now. And I think Magnus is not liking his current position. I think he's definitely not liking it right now. Anna, when is the heart rate thing coming on? I am curious about that too. I know they said in the opening ceremony that we're going to have it. I don't see it right now, and I am using, I'm getting right now the live feed from the main broadcast, so I guess if they don't have it, there's not there yet. I'm not sure. I can definitely ask those that we know when that is going to be coming up, because they should be having heart rate monitors, which would be really cool. So let's see here. Let's see here how Magnus continues. He only has 2 minutes and 46 seconds left right now. He has very little time. I think this is showing psychologically that he's right now struggling, but we're gonna take a look and check out one of the other games. And we're gonna see which game the broadcast picks so that we can look at that game as well. I'm just following right now the broadcast. Okay, so they picked Noterback versus Sindarov, which is the two Uzbek players in this tournament. Noterback became a grandmaster at 13. Sindarov became a grandmaster at 12 years old. My interview with Noterback, I asked, like, what do you guys have in the food of Uzbekistan? How do you become grandmasters at such a young age? And it's really impressive. So both players, very strong, obviously. Noterback, I remember he became really famous in the chess world when he did the tournament of like the century in the Olympiad a couple of years ago. It was incredible. I remember he was just winning every single game pretty much against top level players. And now he's established himself as one of the best chess players in the world. And it's just really cool to see. So there we have Noterback. He does have quite a lot more time than his opponent, 7 minutes versus a minute 45. And we can see also here that c4, everybody started with c4, b4. I feel like they all agree that this was the best way of going, but everybody started the same way and immediately getting a knight up to f5. So, wow! We're just going through really quickly. He made this move, bishop c2, which is a brilliant move because if queen takes a1, you have bishop b2, and if you take this, you have rook a1, now trapping the queen. So bishop c2 was a beautiful move to not have to defend this rook, get out a piece, develop it, and just now threaten to go bishop b2. And I don't know if this is something Sindarov missed. No, he took! And this actually ended up becoming the game. And this was how now actually he got he got this material advantage. And this is the current position. They've only played a few moves in the opening. This is insane. Wow. Okay. So, knight c5 was the last move by Sindarov. A very good move. But now it's time to see, because what happens if knight takes g7? This is a free pawn. Okay, maybe you go a5. Let's see, you go something like queen c3. Maybe you go f6. To me, this just looks insanely good, but maybe it isn't as good as it looks. But wow, it's crazy because actually Sindarov is up material right now after everything. This is insane because he has 2 rooks and a pawn for the queen. So actually Sindarov is up material, but the engine thinks that Noterback is better because of how active Noterback's pieces are and how much pressure he has towards this king. So, wow. This is actually crazy. Magnus, what happened to Magnus? I do want to really quickly see what happened to Magnus over here. Magnus's game is still ongoing. Sorry, this is not Fabi's and Hikaru's game. This is Magnus. I'm just really quickly going to check this out. Magnus right now playing with the black pieces. We did see knight h5, takes, g6, queen d1, and then Magnus went for this move f5. 2 minutes left on the clock. I mean, Magnus is definitely not, like, people were saying Magnus is losing. Actually, what's happening? This knight is hanging. Wow, what is going on? He's gonna sacrifice the knight? d5 is played. Okay, this game is nuts. Okay, this game is crazy. Let's go back to see what Fabi is doing right now. So many interesting games to go to. Here we have Fabiano Caruana versus Hikaru Nakamura. Another really crazy game. Or a really interesting game. They have the same amount of time right now. And the position is looking pretty balanced. I want to see, everybody played the same thing. c4 was the move by everybody. Very interesting. But here Hikaru took a more kind of positional approach where he was playing for this square. It became a little bit symmetrical over here. And then rooks came in, bishop up, bishop went around. Okay, really, really interesting. This is right now the current position. I also very quickly want to get up over here. Give me 1 second, chat. I do very quickly want to get up. Let's see. I want to get up all of my YouTube chat. Not because I haven't had it up before. Absolutely not because of that, but because I'm just really intrigued to see what YouTube is saying at this moment in time. So, okay, there we go. There we have you guys. There we have you guys. Amazing, amazing. Hello YouTube. How are you doing? Hope you're doing really good. Hope you're doing really good. Okay. Let me just leave you guys up over there so that I get to see you. Hello YouTube. Hope you're doing good. We chilling. Amazing. I hope you guys are enjoying all the commentary and enjoying the games. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Okay. So, the last move we saw was Queen E6. Hikaru is thinking, and maybe it's just trying to come up with, okay, what is the plan right now? Because the weaknesses that I'm seeing right now is for sure this pawn, Fabi's pawn, is weak, but you cannot take it because this pawn is hanging. What other pawn is weak? Okay, we have this pawn could become weak potentially because there's no other pawn defending it. But so what happens if we just go ahead and defend this pawn? That is the question that we might ask ourselves. Let's say we go knight f1 to defend this pawn. Now we're threatening this pawn. And so, like, how do you even defend it? Are you going to go something like queen b6? No, then we take it. So how do you even defend it? So rook e1 is the play with the same idea by Hikaru. He wants to defend this pawn and now threaten this pawn over here, and he wants to keep his knight on g3, which makes a lot of sense because probably he wants to prevent this knight from coming up to e4. So, yeah, this is now very interesting to see what Fabi does. How is he going to defend this pawn? Is he going to defend it? Is he not? Is he just going to not care and go knight d5? He goes bishop b7 with the idea that now if takes over here, after bishop takes f3, I am sorry to tell you, but this king is just way too weak. So it's not really something that you want to do. So we see bishop takes, rook takes, and now the move queen c2. Now you might ask yourselves, why did he not just take over here? The reason he didn't take was because after takes and takes, there's this move c3, which would right now kind of undermine this pawn because it's pinned. You cannot take this because then our queen is hanging. You're threatening to take this, and this is just very sad. If queen c2, you're going to take, and this pawn is going to be a monster. This pawn is going to be the pawn that's going to be deciding the whole game. This pawn is just going to be incredibly, incredibly, incredibly annoying. So, yeah, sorry, this is not Magnus's game. This is Fabi's game. I'm sorry, I missed that they moved to Magnus. Sorry. We're moving to Magnus now. This is Magnus's game. Magnus is only on 42 seconds. What is happening? Magnus on 42 seconds. And he sacrificed the knight. We saw d5, then bishop c5, g3, threatening this knight. The knight has no square to go to. Queen g5, the king moved. Takes. Queen g4. There was a trade of queens, bishop f6, and Magnus is on 50 seconds, and he is right now only, you know, it looks like he's suffering. He's a piece down. He's a full piece down. I do think that this is not looking good for Magnus. It's looking like Alireza is gonna pull this through, and look at Magnus's face. He does not look happy. Magnus looks like he's very upset and knows that he's going to probably lose this game. So the last move that we saw was bishop takes. We saw knight g4 now by Alireza. Very good move. Alireza is playing this game amazingly. And at this level, like imagine in a classical normal game, if you were a piece down, this would be like, okay, this is game over now for Magnus. But this is obviously freestyle chess, so it is a little bit different. But just wow, like just really cool to see how well Alireza is playing. And now I guess the idea is that you cannot go rook takes d5 because ba boom, knight h6 checkmate, the checkmate most of us would fall for in chat. So don't fall for that checkmate. So now the king is moving so that the check is not possible. And we will see now maybe just a simple rook d1 defending the pawn. This move very much looks like a good move to keep everything nice and defended. So rook d1 I think looks fantastic. He could also go d6 with the idea that if it takes we can go rook d1. And now boom, double boom, coming in over here and get the rook active. Looks very good as well. So yeah, I really like both of these moves. I really like both of these. So the rook went to e8. The rook went to e8. And now where is Alireza going to go? Is he just simply going to... I guess Magnus wants to activate his rook, obviously. Maybe Alireza will simply just move his bishop back just to not have this constant threat. Because there could be ideas now of going rook e4 and threatening this knight. We can see that this rook cannot threaten the knight because there's no square for the rook to go to. But this rook could absolutely threaten the knight. So yes. Lots of baba booms in this position. There are. It's my new favorite word. I don't know where I got it from. I don't know where I got it from, but I really like this move. So here we see it. Rook e4, the move that I was just talking about. So rook e4, you're threatening this knight. And now the threat is very simple. You want to go takes and takes. So you have to figure something out. But now you can go for the move. Bam! f4. What does f4 do? It blocks the threat of this knight. Is Firouzja going to go for that move? No, he goes for f3 with the idea that you're threatening the rook, you're defending the knight, and if you take, this is not hanging anymore because the rook is defending. So he goes instantly rook e2, now trying to get some counterplay. Look at Magnus, he's doing everything to get some counterplay. Pawn hanging, not really hanging, but almost hanging. Now the threat is for sure to go... No, exactly. I cannot take. So you go rook a2. Okay. I mean, I feel like there's some counterplay that Magnus is getting. Yeah, bishop g5 looks really good. Now you get this. Look at this beautiful knight. This knight is as beautiful as a flower. I don't know. This knight is beautiful. Knight can go up to the center. Very beautiful knight. And then not only that. Okay, look at this. Okay, we need to deal with this. This is a situation that definitely has to be dealt with. But after we've dealt with this situation, bam. No, actually, I want to get a rook over. I want to get a rook to the e-file. Maybe like this. We want to get a rook to the e-file. We want to go d6, and then we just want to checkmate this king. Those are the things we want to do. So the king is trying to escape. I really like the idea of going rook e1, d6, and then just literally trying to checkmate. That is what I like the most. But we're going to see if he goes for that. We're going to see if he goes for that. So Alireza is thinking right now a little bit. Game could be decided very soon. I'm also right now checking how it is going between Vladimir Fedosev and Levon Aronian. It looks like Fedosev has a much better position, and this is a crucial game because if Fedosev wins, it's going to give him great chances to get out of the bottom two and for Aronian to finish in the bottom two. So, how did Norbert go from winning to completely losing? It's the art of freestyle chess. Everybody's confused over here. Okay, we're gonna move on to see what Levon Aronian and Fedosev are doing. We're gonna leave that game over there. This is an important moment. This could be the final moments of Levon Aronian's current position. We see that Levon is kind of looking around. I mean, look at look at this king. Like, if you've ever seen a sad king, this is literally the definition of a sad king. The king is so sad. This pawn is hanging. Levon goes for this check. There's only one move to be made. Literally, we're seeing a rook sacrifice over here. A rook sacrifice by Vladimir Fedosev. But it's not a rook sacrifice that's going to last too long because you can even just go b3 and you're threatening to check and then make a queen. And what do you do to stop it? You check to give yourself a few extra moves, but what else do you do? We see queen takes f6 though, no counterplay. Now, yeah. Oh, am I counting the pieces wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. Fedosev has so many pawns. I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize how many pawns Fedosev has. That is crazy. Okay. Yeah. So many pawns. Anyways, the queen is now also very strong over here. The queen is just coming down. I guess he's gonna go A takes B4, but I mean queen B2 check. Like, is this not a checkmate almost? What is going on? There's knight E3 check. You actually end up winning the queen. I think, yeah, we're gonna see how long this lasts. He does take over here, queen B2, and now knight E3, everybody. Look how beautiful. And he's gonna win the queen, and we might see a resignation. We might see a resignation, and we do. There we go. We saw a resignation, and bum. Levon Aronian loses to Vladimir Fedosev, and this is huge because Vladimir now gets 2 points, and now Levon is going to be the sole last person on just 1 point. So, yeah, this was a huge game. It's going to be tough now for Levon to get out of those bottom 2 standings. Going to be very tough for him, but amazing job by Fedosev. Very beautiful last move. We're going to move back now to see if there's any other results. I saw also that Sindarov won. So Sindarov is going to maybe become now the sole leader because it doesn't look like Fabi has any winning position. We're going to go back to the Magnus game versus Alireza Firouzja. Alireza is doing fantastic. This king is boxed in. This king is so boxed in that we don't even know what to do with the king this boxed in. Like, yeah. Yeah, this is a very boxed in king. I'm not sure where it's going to go. Like, you can even probably go... You can go to so many different places. You can go bishop e7 check, for instance. And then if king over here, knight e5. Like, there's so many moves. He ends up going h4. Now we see bishop f2. If takes and rook takes. Wow, you can go rook c3. And look at this. The threat is to checkmate. And how do you even stop it? The only way of stopping it really is to go like rook c5. Wow. And then you can just go rook e7 and then just pick everything up. Like, this pawn is going to get picked up. This is really nice. Okay, so bishop f2. Let's see what Firouzja does. He has 21 seconds left on the clock. Very little time left on the clock. Let's see what he does. So rook e7. He's getting the rook up! And he blunders! He blunders! There's rook c1 check! He had to go bishop g7, but he goes rook g1 to get himself out of, king d1, sorry, to get himself out of any checks. But now there's rook c1 check, and after king g2, it's going to be repetition because he misses that if there's going to be a checkmate. It's not a win anymore for Alireza Firouzja. Magnus is going to be able to get this back. Wow, this was huge. This was huge. Firouzja with a huge blunder. Magnus is not losing this game anymore. It looked as if Magnus was completely boxed in, but he has to go king g1, and it's now repetition. Magnus is back in the game, and he's gonna get a draw out of this. And just the checks. Look at that. Look at that. Just the instant checks. And Firouzja knows it's a draw. And he's annoyed. Obviously, he's annoyed. He had the chance of beating Magnus Carlsen, and now this king g1 move is gonna destroy those chances. Wow. Chess is brutal. Chess is absolutely brutal. This one little mistake just changed everything, and it becomes a draw. Game is finished. And look at Alireza's face. Look at his face. He's thinking back and seeing through the whole game and going through the whole game. And Magnus with such a clutch draw over there. Like, that is such a save. That is such a save. And obviously Alireza is extremely upset about what just happened. And Magnus probably very, very, very relieved. He's reflecting. He's drinking water. He's reflecting just like we all do after a game like this. Sitting down and drinking his water. Anonymous, thank you so much for gifting a sub. Okay. Alright, let's check out how it's going between Fabi and Hikaru. So, let's check that out. Hikaru now getting a better position versus Fabi. This could turn the tides. This could completely turn the tides, everybody. Fabi before was leading, but if now Hikaru wins, this could very much change the standings and the position. So bishop c7 was the last move. Let's see what is happening here. I mean, Hikaru is just a pawn up, but Fabi's king is also very weak. So, yeah, the bishop goes up to c3. The bishop is very good on this diagonal. Okay. And now, what else? 43 seconds, 42, 41. Fabi has to come up with something. This would really change things because Fabi could have won the previous game. And he would, you know, if he loses this game, it's obviously going to be really upsetting for him because he could just have a half a point more at this point. So, yeah, let's see what he does. These two pawns are so strong. This pawn is really good for Hikaru too. The only thing that Fabi has is this pawn that could, in a certain moment, become a good asset for him to get this pawn to push as well and get, yeah, this one to become maybe a passer. But look at these central pawns. Like, Hikaru must be enjoying life right now. These two pawns are just living life and they're very happy. Okay, time to drink some water, chat. I don't know how my mom commentates for so long without drinking any water. I actually don't. I actually have no idea. I'm gonna have some water. Whilst we're checking out what is happening over here. The king goes back to e8. Okay, I'm gonna try to open this up. Okay, the king goes up. And what will Hikaru do? They're under a minute now. They're under a minute. I got some fancy sparkling water, which in my opinion is way superior to still water. Yeah, they're giving me the fancy water. Oh, we have Andrea over here. I'm getting eye contact with Andrea. Andrea's coming in. Okay. Andrea is coming in soon, chat. That is very fun. We're inviting Andrea Botes into the studio to see what she has to say. 5 minutes, yes. Okay, sounds great. Andrea's coming in 5 minutes. I mean, people are really hearing me. This is crazy. People are really hearing me. Okay, I wonder how much they're hearing out of everything that I'm saying. Okay, it doesn't matter. Glowing Star, thank you for the 9 months. We have on the board knight d7. And what happened here? Wait, Hikaru went for this move. d6, threatening this bishop. d6 threatening the bishop, and why could we not take? Because there's e5, and if you take like this, there was bishop takes f6. Wow, what a beautiful move. d6, but the question is, will this become the pawn become strong or a weakness? But now Fabi losing another pawn, 3 pawns down. It is not a fun position to be in, 3 pawns down. But d takes e7, sorry, 2 pawns down, sorry, just two. So d takes e7, but this pawn very weak as well. Is this defendable? Can you go? I mean, if king f7, I guess you cannot take here yet because the knight is hanging. And this pawn is pretty weak too. I guess actually Fabi does have a little bit of counterplay in this endgame. So it's not like it's completely a lot better for Hikaru, but obviously very nice to be 2 pawns up. Do the players hear me too? Chat, if the players heard me, we would have a big problem. Oh, this was not sparkling water. This is not sparkling water. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we're seeing this really fancy bottle for just regular water. I thought it was at least sparkling water. Okay. All right. Anyways, doesn't matter. Why do we do these really fancy bottles for just plain water? I don't. Anyways, doesn't matter. So, that's a different story. I guess it's nice to have beautiful presentation. Whatever. So, we're seeing a trade of rooks now. The position is definitely changing. Knight f4, trade of rooks, and now knight f3. The knight is hanging, and I think for Hikaru, I think he's quite happy that the pawns are so spread out, because the more spread out the pawns are, the more difficult it is for Fabi to be able to protect all of the pawns from promoting. So, yeah, knight g2 was played now, and king g6, b4, and I do not like fancy water, chat. My personal opinion, water most of the time tastes the same. Maybe I don't have really strong taste buds, I don't know, but to me water is water. As long as it tastes fine, it's fine. So I mean, yeah, if it's gonna be a fancy bottle, it's fun if at least it has like some flavor or something. But I guess maybe I'm weird in that take. Doesn't matter. The king is going up all the way to h5. Fabi getting a very active king, but the issue is these two pawns. These two pawns, let me tell you, they are stronger than a queen. Why? Because they're going to become a queen pretty much. Like these two pawns, very strong, especially if the king gets so far behind over here. These two pawns can literally just push, and it's going to be impossible for this bishop alone to prevent the two pawns from promoting. So we see b5, bishop c7. Now immediately to prevent this pawn from pushing, which makes sense. And now, okay, the knight and this bishop are coordinating really well to prevent the pawns from pushing. And this knight is right, this pawn is also right now hanging. So it's going g3, Fabi playing a lot of really fast and good moves. The bishop goes up over here, and wait a second, what happens if takes and king up? This is a tricky position. What is happening? Hikaru going for a very forcing line, and Fabi now has to make a big decision. Do you keep the knight or do you trade it? He trades it. King takes d4, and can you go king g4, or is this too dangerous? This is really difficult to calculate with such little time left on the clock. With just 20 seconds, calculating what pawn is going to be first is almost impossible. But now king takes g4. This king is going to be coming up. I guess what's going to happen is that the knight will sacrifice itself for this pawn, and then the three pawns will win. That is obviously what Hikaru wants, but he makes a mistake. What happened? He should have gone here. He should have gone e5 and kept pushing. He went back, bishop b6 check, and now bishop c7 was the best move, but bishop d4 was played, and now there's an opportunity for Hikaru to go h5 with the idea that after takes you can go king f3 and now pick up this pawn. And this endgame is really difficult to defend because of how fast this king is. Will he go h5? Yes, 5 seconds on the clock. He does it. Hikaru finds the best move in the position. h5, fantastic move. Fantastic move. And now, yeah, it's gonna be probably just completely winning, but Fabi had this one chance of going bishop c7, which was important to get the bishop on c7 to forever defend this pawn. Now you cannot do that. Let's say you go bishop over here. Well, then there's going to be b6, or literally like any move. Let's say you now go, can you go something like this? You're gonna go knight e3, and yeah, this is gonna be picked up. I don't know if you can just, yeah, I guess this is what's happening. It just gets too fast. So probably Fabi is going to, he does go bishop e5, which is what I thought, and then knight e3. Maybe we'll see bishop c7. Obviously, if like you're able to just get one of these pawns, it's a complete draw because you can trade this bishop for the pawn. But with the two pawns from Hikaru, it is a tough question. So now I guess Fabi's going to try to push this pawn. He's saying, hey, if you move here, I'll go king h3. Like if this, you'll go bishop d4, and then you'll start, you know, pushing down this pawn. There's definitely ways Hikaru still can go wrong, especially with 5 seconds. But he goes king g2, which is a very good move to prevent any counterplay of king h3 and this pawn being able to push. So what can Fabi do now? What can Fabi do now? Will Fabi go king g5? Will Fabi go, yeah, he's going king g5, probably to get the king up to the other side. So he's going to try to go king f4, probably. The knight goes up. Where does the king go now? Let's see, king g4 maybe. Will we see that? 14 seconds left. Now the king goes back to g6, but now this pawn is going to be starting to push. And after knight b4, knight c6, I'm not trying to defend it. King gets closer. I think we're going to see knight b4. No, we're seeing b7. Maybe king here. And then this. Yeah. Now knight b4. Knight a6. It's going to be, I mean, I guess maybe there's bishop. Can you go bishop here? The idea is that then if knight a6, I wanted to, no, you can't do it. I just wanted to be able to sacrifice the bishop somehow. At the same time, bishop c7. And now if knight a6, yeah, I mean, it's should just be completely winning, but Hikaru finds king f3, and now after king f3, where do you go? Okay, time is ticking for Fabi. Is he gonna resign? Is he gonna resign? 3 seconds, 2, 1. He makes a move with a couple seconds on the clock. Bishop d6, and I just want to show, the engine thinks it's plus 67 for Hikaru. Plus 67 after knight c6, because there is just, which honestly I'm quite surprised, but, well, maybe not. Okay, he resigns now. He resigns, so Hikaru Nakamura beats Fabiano Caruana. Fabi, who is having such an amazing tournament, amazing tournament, but now loses to Hikaru Nakamura. He was winning against Gukesh. He could have won that game. Now he loses. Definitely not the way he wanted to start the day today, with a half a point out of 2 after the amazing performance he did yesterday. Hikaru now getting closer to catch up. Every point here is so important. So this was a huge win for Hikaru. So good job to Hikaru. We're going to see what the other results were, because we were stuck on that game for very long. Alireza and Magnus drew. Vladimir Fedosev beat Levan Aronian, as we know. And then Vincent Kamer and Gukesh ended in a draw. It literally ended with king versus king. Look at that. And then after that, we also have Sindarov, who beat Norbek, now putting Sindarov in a big lead in the tournament. And we're having right now Andrea. Andrea Botas is here. Chat, should we say hi to Andrea? Should we say hi to Andrea Botas? They're arguing. Andrea and Alex are arguing about something. Anyways, guys, in the meantime, the current standings are these. Let me just reload it so you guys get to see. I don't know if you guys are hearing the arguing. They're shouting. Okay, Gukesh Sindarov leading right now at 6 points, followed by Fabi and Alireza on 5. And then Magnus, Vincent, Hikaru are on 3.5, and then Gukesh on 3, Norbek on 2.5, Vladimir Fedosev on 2, and now he has the chance to catch up.
Sorry, we were having an important discussion.
I heard you were having an important discussion.
I hope the stream didn't pick it up.
Can I ask what you guys were arguing about?
No, it is. Did stream hear it?
Hello.
Hi, guys. We wanted to just pop by.
Hi,
we had some funny. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. They heard. We keep having the same argument every week. Oh, this is such a pretty setup.
Which is cute.
Oh, you used your camera. That's why it looks so better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm using my
we
camera.
We have a funny story. Alex, do you want to maybe?
Do you want them to take the chairs?
No, you sit.
I'm just thinking so we can be head level.
Okay.
With you.
I can
maybe the squad is better. Okay, so we just went into the playing hall to film some funny shorts, and one of them, I wanted it to start with me playing chess, and then you pan to Hikaru behind us thinking seriously, and then they didn't kick us out, but they said you must move immediately because you're in Hikaru's field of vision, so we had to move.
Oh, because you might be like signalizing something to Hikaru.
Yeah, sure. That's it.
Yeah.
But we
our superior chess.
It was the only it was our first time into the playing hall, and we're already in trouble. And then we started arguing about.
I was there earlier, but I only got in trouble when Andrea came.
Okay, so you were fine in the beginning. You were looking all professional, Alex, coming in there.
Thank you.
Doing all the interviews with your coat and your everything, looking super
Anna.
professional.
And
so
then
is that what
Andrea
you
came
and
we
we
were
got
arguing about?
No, we were arguing about a fart pimple debate, but that goes way back.
Who's a pimp? Okay.
It's a fart versus pimple debate.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying
Can't
to
ever take them anywhere by the seams of it, yeah.
How's the stream going?
It's going good.
How's your pod? Did you
great.
like your did you stream your cow pow?
I have, and I also have a mug. Like they made it a mug.
Aww,
Isn't this
so
cute?
Where's our mug? Well, I don't know if we got a mug.
Honestly, I'm surprised they even let us in here, so it's okay.
It's a very cute mug. I love it, but I don't feel like this looks like me. Like I
I saw it. I think like for most
does
cartoons,
not look like
they
you.
look better, but yours looks worse than you.
Right, thank
Hello,
you.
chat.
It doesn't feel like me at
No,
all.
it doesn't.
But did you see
it
how
looks
much-
like if you and Gollum had a baby?
Did you see how much body hair they gave Danny Wrench?
Yeah,
though?
we couldn't stop looking at it. They give him so much arm hair.
I did not. Arm? Why are the
They
arms?
made
Is it
Danny
over
Wrench
here?
very, very hairy. And
Okay.
mine just says no risk, no reward. And that's what I'm saying. While everyone's
And I
like
love that
chess.
they made you a gambler.
And I'm just like a gambler. I'm like, what is this?
But isn't that something you would say, Andrea?
I'm not the gambler. That's like no gamba, no future.
I like that they put that in.
But
I
it's
feel
fine.
like you would say
They
that. Alex.
accept me for who I am, and I like them here.
Yeah.
They're very nice.
Have you guys been watching the games at all?
No. Have
No.
you?
I have.
You've
They're
been
very
doing commentary,
exciting.
yeah.
How is Magnus doing? We really don't want him to lose.
He's doing.
Is he coming back?
How did he do against Alireza?
He drew. He clutched. It was a
Okay,
complete
cool.
loss for him, and then
Okay,
Alireza
worried.
missed the perpetual. It was
Okay.
crazy. He's 4th right now, so Magnus is fine. But look at the point difference. Sindarov on 6,
Wow.
Fabi on 5, Alireza on 5, and then the next one is 3.5. It's a huge point difference.
Sindarov is the one that Jules cursed too. Did you tell chat the
She didn't
story?
curse him,
I
she
did
clearly
not.
blessed
Do you want
So-
to tell the story?
So the first night we're at this. So first of all, dinner is the most like dramatic dinner setup of all time. They have 2 extremely long tables, no 3, and everyone sits together, which is great. But sometimes it's a little awkward when everyone
castle.
comes in at different. In a castle.
And the first night, everyone was wearing ball gowns and stuff like that, and Andrea went down in her pajamas.
Because she literally, we finished filming, and Alex is like, "I'm gonna go wash off my makeup."
And
I'm
I
like,
did wash off my
"Shouldn't we look
makeup."
for nice for dinner?" She's like, "No, we don't need to. Like, why would it's
I
dinner?"
didn't know.
She set me up for failure, and the one time I show up in jammies, there's everyone in like full production cameras filming everything 24/7, like we're having like dinner with the Queen of England. And then there's a big ceremony where we draw the colors, and they pull us all to go stand by this table, and we're all trying to hide from the ladies so
And
she
it
doesn't
comes
pull
up
us.
to Andrea, and she's like, Andrea, pick a card, and she picks a card, and she doesn't recognize the
That's
player.
not true. I didn't want to mispronounce his name, and that's not true.
There's
looked at
2
the card
players
and
that
didn't
look
say.
similar. And
Yeah,
she wasn't sure
yeah,
which
they're from
one
the
it
same
was.
country. They both have dark hair and dark eyebrows, and the picture is small, and my vision is bad, so I didn't want to misname anyone. But Jules got the first card, and she didn't know that it would be cursed that you're picking the person who goes last or gets like the worst whatever favorite position. And she picked the guy who's currently first place. So
Yeah, I mean,
Jules'
he's
curse
doing
worked
incredibly
well.
I think
Yeah.
it was a blessing. I
Yeah.
think Jules gave him a blessing. But yeah, we both, me and Andrea, had to pick out a card. So we were standing there with all the cameras looking at us, and we both individually picked a different card and had to read out the name, and we were both not looking the way that we should look in an event like that.
I was ashamed.
Anna was looking beautiful.
I am so embarrassed of that. I looked like, and I also got
That
Chad,
video
I got
is
sick.
on Chess Base India. Which one?
Oh god, I don't
Wait,
want to
which
see.
one?
No,
Which
please.
one?
I got a cold as soon as I landed because I was in the snow for 15 hours before this trip, and so I looked like a dead zombie in all the footage. But Anna pulled Magnus's name for the cards, so it was pretty epic.
I did. It was, it was number, what was it, 3 or 4, I think, something like
4,
that.
I think 3.
Yeah, something like that. I got Magnus. Yeah, it was an easy one as well, too, to say.
Hey,
It was
it's
fun.
those sisters.
Wait, is this your mic that you brought with you?
No, they've given me everything, apart from my computer and my camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
so
looks
everything
good.
else.
Can't believe that Sindarov is just destroying.
Did you know that he
That's so
became a
hype.
GM when he was 12?
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
read that in his Wikipedia before we interviewed him.
Okay,
I read
good.
everyone's Wikipedia before we interviewed them.
Good job,
'Cause I
Andrea.
copy and
Professional
pasted
Andrea.
it into the
No,
document.
I searched his up on my own on my way to the bathroom while I was pooping. Just kidding. And chat, I asked all the grandmasters except one who I wasn't allowed to interview, but I asked them all important questions, and we were doing a segment where we played Blitz while I asked some deep questions and some non. And my favorite was, how many times do you poop in a day? And there was only one grandmaster who answered my question, but everyone else chuckled and they liked it. But guess who answered my question about poop? Take a guess. I'm asking you, Anna.
Oh, I mean, I know the answer.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Okay,
But
then
I'm not
we'll
surprised
leave
about
it a
the answer.
mystery. You'll have to watch the video to
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
Did you say with a straight face, Andrea?
Oh, she did.
It was, well, also, it was
My
the
knees
reason
are
Alex was winning all the games, because I kept getting them by surprise with my questions.
What about my skill?
And because Alex is actually really good at 960.
Yeah, and are you scared?
Well.
Oh, are we saying
should.
it?
Maybe we tease it a little bit. Okay, quick, ladies. Say something beefy. Like, pretend you're Logan Paul.
Andrea had a really big pimple on her butt.
Alex farted on me. Okay. In my face. On camera.
My face before, so I can get revenge.
I was 12 when I did it. You're 24.
Yeah, and I was still traumatized.
Yeah, I was a kid. There's a difference. Anyways, we're not going back to this discussion.
Okay. Alex, I am studying every single day.
Are you really?
Hard level chess 960 by commentating. I am so ready for any chess 960.
Honestly, Anna has the advantage because I have played, like, the only time I played chess 960, freestyle, was when we were doing the interviews. And that's about it.
Yeah. And I'm looking every day at this, so I feel
no,
good
I think
freestyle.
you'd be a favorite. Will Anna and I play freestyle? Who knows? Maybe.
If they'll let them sit in Magnus's chair. I'm gonna see if I can get on Amazon while we're here and get everyone velvet blazers. And I want to start walking around in the playing hall.
I want a velvet blazer.
I'm gonna see if I can Amazon.
With the Chad jawline, thank you, sir.
Can you also get Pringles, please, Andrea?
I'll see. I don't know if they have Amazon out in this yonder land, but I will check what I can do.
I am craving snacks so much.
I have dates and mandarins that I brought from America.
You brought dates
and edamame. I have edamame. Well, they're crunchy edamame.
I can't keep looking at this creepy.
I know. I don't like looking at that. It's really terrifying.
It's smiling.
You look like you're in middle school in this. It's terrifying. It's really scary.
I like my hair though. My hair looks nice.
Your hair looks nice.
Yeah, but the face, it's a bit strange.
Me out a little bit.
Okay.
Are you gonna take it with you back?
You know what? Maybe, and I'll try to get the face fixed at some point. I'm definitely taking the mug back. What are you guys doing now?
We're gonna
keep planning
brainstorm some
shorts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna brainstorm over a cup of tea at lunch. I wish we really want to do an IRL stream one of these days where we just bring the camera with us, which I think we will do. Yeah, and then we're gonna film some more clips, and then I'm gonna go back in the playing hall a little later.
And cause some more chaos.
Hopefully they don't kick us out. I see by the end of this trip we're not allowed to enter the tournament hall during the games anymore. Or at least one of us.
Also, we were there with the chess.com content guy.
The most likely media person to get banned on this trip is clearly you.
But for the record, I was simply doing what chess.com instructed me to do. I was doing my job.
Show Anna
oh my god, it's so funny. Don't call him that on camera,
sorry,
Alex.
Sorry. What is wrong with that? It's just a cute nickname.
Okay, we got a couple, but the Hikaru one is the funniest. But I don't know if I'll be able to post it.
Well, Hikaru has been a really good sport with the content so far this trip.
Okay, where's the clip? There's a couple of them. Okay. Alright, this is my favorite. I haven't figured out what to caption it.
This is amazing. This is actually amazing.
Okay.
This is actually amazing.
You can't really see. But we got a bunch of, and then we also got this. We got a bunch of clips of me and Alex just snooping around the okay, there's Magnus.
And there's us.
And then, you can't see us really in the wait, hang on, wait.
It's okay, they'll see it when we post it.
Wait. Okay, wait, this is perfect because Magnus looks up at the same time. Okay, you can see me and Alex, and we're pretending to shush each other because we were making a squeaky shows clip, and Magnus is like looking to the side like this.
Our shoes were so loud in there, and we were trying to be quiet.
But
you're wearing heels, of course.
I'm wearing heels. It was horrible.
No, I see why Ali Reza got FIDE to whatever, give him a card for his sneaky sneakers because it's so silent in there.
Everybody's silent, and we have heels, and I had to walk like it looked like I stole something. It was kind of stressful.
This is my other Hikaru one that probably will never make it to the internet, and we're only posting them if Hikaru wins, I think, which he is winning.
Yeah, we don't want to be his bad luck charm. wait.
When he doesn't know you're watching.
Okay, that is actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I look forward to see what else.
We're just doing our job, you know.
Did someone just say Andrea isn't loud? It must have been Alex being rude. Excuse me, Andrea isn't loud, sir.
Oh, they're on BRB side. Yes. No, whose stream is that? Someone else's.
Yeah, that's someone else.
Okay, no, we don't want to take away any more.
They gave you so much chocolate.
I know. I asked them because yesterday I was.
I'm gonna ask them for extra chocolate.
Do you guys want a chocolate?
No.
No, it's okay.
Look at this.
I won't take yours. Where did these come from? I want
Ask
a Twix.
production for chocolate.
I want a Twix bar for my room.
Okay, do that. I was telling them yesterday how much I was missing snacks, and they gave me all this.
But
so
no
they were
Pringles.
very kind. No Pringles. I feel like going to 5-star hotel to reception and ask for Pringles is literally...
What do you think about the dinner setup? How many more nights do you think you can eat extravagant small
I love
meals
the
on
extravagant
plates?
small meals.
It's
although
really
yesterday
good.
was-
But I just miss my Pringles after.
I just want a bowl of chicken and broccoli.
This is the nicest chess location ever. I went to the sauna for 20 minutes this morning.
How
it's
was the sauna?
insane. Dude, it's insane. You have to go.
I'll go as soon as my health comes back.
Yeah. No, I really love it here, Andrea. I'd like them to invite us again, so we need to be on our best behavior.
We are on our best behaviors. We came here what we came to do. No risk, no reward system.
No gamma, no future. Okay, see you guys.
Bye, chat.
See you
later.
Bye.
We'll see you later. Bye.
See
We're gonna
you.
do some brainstorming, some
Have
cooking up in
fun.
the kitchen.
Have fun, have fun. Okay, the games are starting, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and check them out as well. Oh, that's nice. It's really hot in here. Okay. That was that was fun. That was fun. Okay, guys, speaking of chocolate, this chocolate is looking pretty great. Like, I haven't had any normal Twix or whatever ever since I got here. Oh, and there's bananas. Okay, this is amazing. I'm very happy with my little snacks table. Let's check out how this is going right now. It was a lot of fun to have Alex and Andrea here and tell me everything that they're doing. As you can see, we're all doing different things throughout the tournament, which is pretty cool. So, okay, let's see now what is going on. The next position, whoop, that's me, haha. The next position is right in front of us, and it is position 477, and we're seeing right now the players analyzing what to do, and this position is looking a little bit similar to one we had before with the rook on a1, the king on e1, but I guess some of the other pieces are a little bit different. But we're seeing here how the players are sitting right now and looking through what they're gonna do. This is game 3 of the day. There's 2 more games, rapid games to go today, and then tomorrow it's gonna be classical all the way from the beginning. So yeah, what do we think about this position, chat? I think this is looking, I kind of want to put up the sound and hear what they're saying. Wait, let's see. Let me put it up real quick. Wait. There. We hear Hikaru a little bit talking now.
Casting long distance. So if you play e5 then I don't have the stupid knight on b3. I can go with d4, e4, right at the center.
E5? We cannot play knight d3 takes to g5, h4 or g6. I will play
Knight
for
c3.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think knight d2 was the problem.
Also knight b3 is not...
Yeah, knight d3. Wait, I don't want to give e5 then. I don't like knight d3.
You don't like this knight yet.
g5 and h4. I don't trust it. This is knight on
I think you said 1 minute left.
But okay, black was also will go I think knight to
Play g4, c6 and b6. Perfect.
Oh, I picked the wrong one. I wasn't gonna pick that one. Okay. Guys, the games are about to start.
Welcome
The
back
players
in, diving into round
are
8.
taking in.
Once again, getting that peek into the mind of a bunch of GMs trying to evaluate a chess 960 position. And once again...
Wait, why did I unmute when I was literally eating my chocolate? Wait.
Everybody looking at opening that diagonal and maybe attacking an undefended pawn on the other side of the board. But I'd say a bit counter to the previous game, Tanya, eventually we saw the players moving off of that idea and starting to approach the game a little bit more in a standard sense, looking for e4 pushes and developing the knights on the other side of the board instead.
I think the reason for that is because this is such a unique position. If you take a deeper look, why the king, knight, and the rook are actually in a standard chess position here. You know, you've got 3 pieces as you usually start with in that 5-1-8. So concepts from that come into play, principles from that come into play. Yes, usually with the queen in the corner, we've often seen the players think about how do you activate that queen, which is really the most important thing to do in freestyle chess if your queen's in the corner with the g-pawn moving forward. But again, the dynamics given.
Guys, I'm giggling because I'm having people talk to me outside.
Combination right now with freestyle, that king pawn move makes a lot
People
of
are
sense.
talking
Your
to me
bishop
outside.
opens up. You've also got the idea of breaking the symmetry with the pawn next to it moving forward if black was to mirror that move. So I think the players who play black today.
Guys, I'm supposed to go. Okay, I'll be back. I'm supposed to maybe do the opening for this. Oh, give me a second.
White were looking more at the g4.
Okay, I'll be back.
Yeah,
I think I'm doing the
so,
opening. Oh no,
games
I
are
guess I'll
already
do the next
underway,
one.
as you
Okay,
can see
wait, give me a
up here on the
second.
top of
Oh
your
my, I
screens.
missed my
I've got
messages.
two
Okay,
in mind,
sorry,
and I'll
give
let
me
you
a
guys
sec.
pick between them.
We don't have a single e4, by the way.
We did in the end. We didn't get a single e4. Incredible. In my head, I'm thinking of the two players who are still fighting to get into that top 8 position, and both of them have tremendous opponents. We've got Levan Aronian up against Magnus Carlsen, and then, of course, we have Fedoseev challenging Gukesh as well. And so between those two, does either one speak to you as the one that you'd like to dive into first? Perhaps we check in with the other in a bit.
Ooh, I think we start with the number one Magnus
chat,
Carlsen.
Alrighty.
I am.
Tail end at Levan Aronian, because for Levan, losing.
Okay, chat. I am picking the position the next game. Okay, I didn't know the organizers had tried to contact me. Okay, I'm picking the position the last game. I'm gonna be doing the person that's, you know, getting the ball down and like picking what position the players are gonna pick. So you're gonna see me on the main broadcast after this round, and I'll be picking what position they get. So that's gonna be fun, chat. You'll see me over there. I'll be in the playing hall doing this after this. So, and then we'll come back. So that's a lot of fun. All right, so let's start and watch the games. We're seeing lots of really interesting games right now. For instance, we are witnessing Magnus versus Aronian, and that is happening right now. So F4. What was that? I mean, it was Hikaru's live stream. Oh, it was Hikaru's live stream. He just showed up. Okay. That is fine. Okay, let's go ahead and set up the position. So we see now this was the starting position, Levan versus Magnus. Let's move this a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. And the position that we have is this one. Whoop. It's this one. So there it is. This is the current position. We see that Levan is right now last in the standings, unfortunately. Obviously now he has to win the next games and be a bit lucky with what happens in the other rounds for him to be able to still be in the tournament. Otherwise he will be getting knocked out and not be able to play the classical. So Magnus started with the move G3 and then he went F4, and we weren't really seeing a lot of what they were talking about in the pre thinking about the position. But now probably maybe his idea is going to be to maybe go E4, try to get a lot of space over here. With this, he's opening up this bishop. I think we might see something similar of some C3 or C4 to get this bishop over here as well, and then maybe bring out a knight. I kind of like C4, to be honest. Just to, oh, I hate C4 because it blunders a pawn. This is literally the easiest thing to do in freestyle chess. You just don't think that a piece is gonna be somewhere and you blunder something. So yeah, maybe also, what else can you do? I guess you can also just go knight c3, but I really wanted to get this bishop out. But maybe the future of this bishop is on this diagonal instead. Can you go e4? Maybe e4 is nice as well. And that is actually the move that Magnus ends up doing. He does end up going for e4. And now the idea is for him just to instantly get like the whole queen into the middle of the board and just get a lot of space over there. It is always symmetrical, so that is yeah, that is for sure one thing. Like, no matter what, all the positions are completely the same for white and black. It's not like white has one position and black has the other. So knight c3 was played now, which the engine doesn't like, because you can go d5 and defend. And then I guess the idea for Magnus will be to go d3, and Magnus is actually gambiting a pawn. He's giving up a pawn, but to be able to get his pieces out a lot quicker. So he's being risky. He's going for the no risk, no reward kind of thing. So I played a lot of gambits like this too. I think gambits are fun, but that is why we're seeing this. So knight c3, this pawn is now under attack. And if something like, for instance, bishop c4, then I think we would just see bishop e2. Like Magnus is just trying to get his pieces out as fast as possible. So this is the current position that they have. There we have them. I don't really know where to place myself, but you can see the two. You can see the two players. Levin is known for always having really interesting shirts. Like he always has shirts that nobody else has. And they're always patterned and stuff. It's really cool. But Levin Aronian is known for that as well. Celeste, thank you so much for resubscribing 8 months. Thank you, thank you. So now he's taking quite his time, Levin, to figure out what to do here. He's probably also feeling the pressure of knowing that he has to win this game. If he loses this game, it's officially, I think, GG for him. He's gonna be getting knocked out. So I guess that's also one of the reasons he's feeling some extra pressure. Linus, thank you so much for the prime. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, Levin is still thinking here. Magnus is looking around. What's going on? Is he looking at... Is it the Bota sisters that are there? Why is everybody looking at a certain place? Is something happening in the playing hall? I'm not sure what's happening, but he's definitely not looking at the board, which I'm confused about. Very confused about. Why is he looking so much to the side? What is happening over there? Is there a situation? Now he looks back at the board. So, okay, so G6 was the last move being played. And yeah, now he's also just saying, okay, I'm gonna get my pieces out as quickly as possible. Let's put this over here. They're changing the camera angles all the time, which means that I also have to change a little bit. All right, so let's go down over there. So now bishop b6 was his idea, to get his bishop around and get it active. And now I guess you can either obviously take, but taking, you would allow the knight to come out. It's better, I think, to not allow this knight to come out. So there's, I guess, a few things that you can do. You can go here. Can you go here? This is the move that I wanted to make. The issue, I guess, is then that the knight comes out to d6, threatens the queen. And then not only that, but this bishop becomes really strong as well. So, yeah. So, bishop b6. And then maybe the queen will simply move just so that he can't go ahead and threaten this on d6. Sorry, go knight d6 and threaten the queen. So let's see what he does. Levin is quite low on time right now. Quite low on time. 5 minutes left. What did he do? No, it's Magnus to make, sorry. Magnus to move. Okay, this is very loud. Are you guys hearing this very loudly as well? Thank you so much, Astrophiz, though, for the prime. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. I'm gonna just move down this a little bit. Okay, perfect. So, will Magnus go queen g2? Will he go... Oh, you guys can't hear it? Don't think you hear anything but me. Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay, then it's just me that hear it. I hear voices, chat. I'm going crazy. Okay. Anyways, doesn't matter. Bishop b6, queen g2 we could see. We could also see Magnus simply saying, hey, I'm going to develop my pieces. I want to get my pieces out. So knight d3 and then trying to get the knight up. We could also, I mean, queen h1 I don't think looks good. Bishop g4 is the move he ends up doing. And the idea with that, I guess, is just activating this bishop. There's no pawn here that can kick him away as the f5 pawn is gone. And now if h5, that's not possible. This pawn is hanging and this pawn would become weak forever. So bishop g4, also one of the best moves. Very good move. And now knight d6, simply attacking the queen. The queen goes all the way to e2, still staying on this e file. And then he's going to go knight d3, castles. I actually really like this. He's going to go knight d3, long castles, and this is actually going to look like a pretty standard chess position, I think. So, I am reading. Someone is saying that I'm not reading YouTube chat. I am reading YouTube chat. I do wish I could do some Spanish talk, but most of my chat doesn't understand Spanish. How many of you speak Spanish, chat? I don't think it's that many. So yeah, so I don't know if there's anybody doing Spanish commentary over here. There should be someone doing Spanish commentary of Freestyle chess, but oh, there's quite a few. there's quite a few. Okay, there was more than I thought. All right, there was more than I thought. Okay, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. All right, so rook takes. Wow, a lot of Spanish people. That's actually amazing. That's really fun. Hola. I got more chocolate? When? Wait, was someone in this room? Wait, I'm scared. When did I get this chocolate? Has anyone walked in? This chocolate was not there. I'm so confused. Okay, someone walked in, I guess. I'm so confused. Okay, I haven't seen it. I've gotten so much chocolate. I asked, hey, can I get a little bit of chocolate just in case like my energy goes down? And they literally came in with all of this. Like, I need to ask if I can get a little bit of chips, and they're gonna come in with literally all the chips in the whole world. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, I'm happy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Am I addicted to chocolate? No, I actually used to hate chocolate when I was a kid, but now I think it's quite yummy. Okay, Queen D4. I don't eat chocolate so much, but I'm not having any lunch here, so this is my lunch. Because for some reason, the lunch here is between 2 and 4 p.m., which is when we players are playing and we commentators are commentating. So yeah, I'm a bit confused. So there's no lunch. So that's why I'm kind of hungry now. And that's why I'm snacking. But yeah. Anyways, Queen D4, threatening the rook. And now the rook goes to F1. And I suppose the plan here now is, well, obviously it was just to threaten the rook. But I think Magnus is really just going to go knight b3 and then castle and bring the rook up to e1. I think that is the plan that we're going to be seeing. So Levin's time is really going down. We're going to check out another game as well. Ooh, okay. We're going to check out another game as well. Let's see. I'm seeing that Noterback. They're checking out how it's going for him. And it is going... He's playing against Alireza Firouzja right now. Okay, I'm constantly getting Hikaru's live stream. Okay, there we go. So, this is the current position. It looks really good for white, but you know the book covers sometimes lie. And at least that's like a Spanish, saying, I think. That's a Spanish saying. Okay, there we go. So, let's put this up over here. So, a6, and then here now. I guess this makes a lot of sense because you're kind of preventing this queen from creating any chaos. But it looks like, what happens if we just start trading over here? Like, what happens if we just start trading? Can we take, you take with the d pawn because you want to activate your rook, and then we bring in this bishop. Like, what is happening? Thank you so much, V99 Kugel Blitz, for the prime. So, wait, oh no, you cannot go bishop. Guys, what am I doing? Okay, no, you cannot go. There's a queen over here. Okay, so let's see what Noterback ends up doing. Why is Alireza better here? Is what I'm trying to figure out. It might be that this queen doesn't have a lot of spots to go to. It might also be that these two pawns are so advanced. Like, these two pawns are so far advanced right now that, yeah. It's just, it can become a really nasty pawn very quickly. Like, this G pawn can become strong very, very, very quickly. So I guess it is that as well. And then, what else? Like, we also can see that a lot of black's pieces are very well placed. B5 could be a move at some point. Not really, because I guess this would weaken it a lot. But, I mean, there is a threat, I think, right now of a fork. So... It looks as if this is very pleasant for black, and even though it looks like white has an attack, how does white continue its attack is the question. So, okay, this is looking quite good for Noterback. Sorry, quite good for Alireza. Guys, I need to mute this. Wait, sorry. I need to mute this. I'm trying to mute this. Okay. So what other games do we have? I'm looking right now to see. Looks like Hikaru has a bit of a better position against Vincent Kaber. Fabi seems to have a bit of a better position against Sindarov. If Fabi wins against Sindarov, it's going to be huge because Sindarov is right now the leader and Fabi's right behind. So that would do huge things to the standings. So yeah, that would be pretty fantastic. Oh yeah, I'm gonna hide it. There we go. I'm hiding it. Amazing. So that would be huge. Let's go back to this. We see that Queen A3 was played by Noterbek to avoid this B5 move, which makes sense. And now I guess that King B8 is the thing that Alireza can do. He could go King B8 just to get the king a little bit in a better position. He could also maybe just go Knight A7 to go Knight B5. And this queen, where is it going? It's a really pretty queen, but where is the future of this queen? It doesn't have a lot of places it can go to. Yeah, I don't know. You can also trade here, I guess. Trade. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea of doing something like this. But okay, Queen H4. Oh, wow. Blitz. We're seeing Blitz by Alireza. Alireza, we all know, is super good at Blitz. And look at that. He's blitzing out the moves. So, Rook E8. And he's now just putting some pressure on the e-file. Maybe the idea is going to be to, at some point, try to go F3. Or go G3 and then try to take here. Actually, that is the move that makes the most sense. Going G3, threatening the rook, and then maybe trying to go Knight F4 if you can. Yeah, I think that looks really good. Like, let's say you do something random. G3 is just such a huge threat. So he went Knight takes C6. Now taking with the D pawn is a must to not lose this pawn. Queen C5 with the idea of going Queen A7 and being nasty. King B8 now looks so good, just not giving any counterplay to the opponent. So this looks really, really, really good. Is Alireza gonna go for this? Is Alireza gonna go for King B8 and then go for G3? All right, we will see. We will see. Also, look at Alireza with that orange blazer. I want that orange blazer. Wow, Alireza is going instantly for G3. He's fearless. He's fearless because if Queen A7, whatever, we're just going to pick up the rook. It doesn't matter. So H takes, pawn takes back. We're threatening the rook. The rook will have to go here because otherwise the little pawn is hanging. And after this, you can go King B8, defend from any attack. And now look at how strong this pawn is. The knight is going to come up to F4. This pawn is just going to dominate the rook, which is pretty fantastic because a pawn is worth 1 point in chess and the rook is worth 5. So if 1 point can dominate 5, then you're doing good, you know? So I think that is pretty great. Alireza is doing really well and he's right now on 5 out of 7. He's literally at the top of the standings in this tournament right now. So it's really cool. It's really, really, really cool. Let's see if he's able to continue this amazing performance. And Noterbek right now feeling the pressure, I think. Definitely feeling the pressure. Now I want to ask you guys, like, are you enjoying freestyle chess? Are you, like, do you think it looks fun? Are you feeling like you would like to play it? Because I'm kind of getting the urge to play it. I think freestyle looks really fun. And it feels like I have a better chance against people that are higher rated than me in freestyle chess because even if they know a lot more opening theory than me, it's just going to be like our brains thinking at the same time. So it's, yeah, very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Noterbek's still thinking. Noterbek's still thinking. So G3 was the final move that we saw, and now the rook goes to G2. He has to stay over here because otherwise the pawn on E2 is going to be falling. It's going to be bye-bye to that pawn. And he cannot lose this pawn. If he loses this pawn and the rook just enters this position, it's going to be so bad for Noterbek. So the rook goes to G2, and the question will be, will this pawn become a weakness or a strength? That is always the question of all these pawns. Is it a weakness or is it a strength? And the answer is that we never know. So Alireza now has to continue his attack. I think we will see King B8. That is my prediction. maybe if he's feeling really, really, really brave, he might go bishop e6 with the threat of bishop h3, pinning the rooks. That also looks really interesting. Bam, boom, baboom. Okay, yeah. Knight f4. The reason knight f4 right now is not so good is because after queen f5 check, let's say you go king b8, you just lose the knight. So you have to go something like knight e6, and now the knight wasn't able to go there anyway. So that's why if you want to go knight f4, you should first go king b8. Like, you shouldn't allow for this to happen. You shouldn't allow for that to happen. Okay. Firush is thinking, should he go king b8 or is he gonna go for this? Which one will he pick? Which one will he pick? Only time will tell. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, has 3 minutes and 20 seconds. He's thinking. He's thinking. How did I feel playing against Gukesh? I was nervous. Okay, he goes king b8. That was the move I was expecting. I was nervous playing against Gukesh. Like, I mean, also I'm playing as the world chess champion. Like, I was nervous, but I was trying to like make him as happy and comfortable as possible. As I've never talked to him before. So yeah, he was so nice. Gukesh is so nice. Like, incredible person and chess player. He was so nice to interview him and play chess against him. It was really fun. So I hope that you've all watched the video and that you've enjoyed it, and that yeah, it leads to you being able to see a little bit more how the players are outside of playing chess. So knight a5, instant move by Noterback. And what is the threat right now? That's always the question we have to ask ourselves. Like, let's say you do something random. Let's say you do something like this. I don't know if there's any immediate threat, actually. I think it's just getting this knight to a better square than what it was before. Because you cannot go b6 because then there's knight takes c6 check. So I don't really think there's any instant threat. Now bishop e6 makes a lot of sense because you want to threaten this, but we see knight b6 instead. Knight b6 is played. He's going back, and I think the idea is for him to bring this rook up to d5. I think he wants to go rook d5 and kind of punish Noterback for placing the knight on a5. So we're going to go to a different game right now. We're going to see what Magnus is doing because he seems to be beating Levin Aronian. Levin has 26 seconds left, and if Levin loses his game, well, then it's fully GG for him. Then he will be knocked out in the rapid section as he will only finish with 1 point. So this is important for him to not lose, and he only has 26 seconds left. But unfortunately what happened was that his king just got so weak. Did he lose a piece? I guess maybe he had to take. Wow. And then queen takes a6. Yeah, he's a piece down. He's just fully a piece down. I don't see how he's gonna recover from it. 5 seconds. 4, 3. He plays d5. He wants to keep it going. But yeah, this is just a very, very, very big moment in the game, and also in the tournament, because obviously this could just very much be there we go. Levin Aronian resigns, and he is now going to be out of the tournament. He's gonna be out of the classical portion of this tournament. He's gonna be knocked out as he's gonna finish in one of the last placements. So yeah, that is that. I guess, yeah, it's sad for Levon, but yeah, it is how chess is, and freestyle chess is tough, and just like regular chess is as well. Thank you so much, Rainsome, for becoming a member on YouTube as well. We do have members active on YouTube, so thank you very much for that. Yeah, well, that was a very nice win by Magnus. And Magnus is now climbing up in the standings. He's had a good day today so far. Let's check out how the other games are going. Let's check out how the other games are going as well. Let's see which one they pick. Maybe we'll see Levin now joining the commentating in one of the future rounds. So just waiting to see which one they pick so we can go and join the same one. Okay, we have here Gukesh versus Vladimir Fedosov. And looks as if Vladimir has a pretty good position. He was able to make a bit of a comeback before. He actually beat Magnus Carlsen. He beat the last round Levin Aronian, and now he has a good position versus Gukesh. Will he be able to win this game? Will he be able to convert it and climb out of that bottom 2 last spot? If he wins this game, his chances of staying in the tournament get, you know, significantly higher. So knight g4, he's trading, takes, and he takes over here. He's now a pawn up, which feels very nice. But black has this really, really strong f pawn that could become really good. Oh, thank you so much, XOXO, for gifting a sub. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So rook d6 was the last move, but you know what? Vladimir also has this really fantastic pawn. Look at this h pawn. This h pawn has this beautiful future. Like, if you trade off all pieces, this is literally a winning pawn in the endgame. XOXO, thank you for gifting another sub as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are seeing the leg bounce, which is very typical in chess. You're sitting like this the whole time because you're nervous and you're so stressed and you're like on your highest kind of nerves the whole time. Thank you so much, Emre Unes, for the prime. Thank you. So we see it now. As soon as we're coming in here, we're jinxing it for Fedosov. Gukesh is taking a little bit of an upper hand, because now this pawn that I said was so beautiful, this pawn that I loved so much, is becoming a weak pawn, and now this f pawn is showing its dominance on the board. f3, the pawn is pushing down, and it has a dream, it has a future, and what future does this h pawn have right now? None. So thank you so much once again, XXO, for gifting another sub. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah. If Fedosov loses this, it's almost like he's eliminated as well. So it's a really important thing for him to not lose. But now the queen is coming in. The rook is coming in. This pawn is weak. Everything turned around from the moment we joined this game. Gukesh is taking the upper hand, and Gukesh might win this game. And it's all turning around. It's all turning around. I feel like we jinxed it for him. I really feel like we jinxed it for him. So a5, now preventing the rook from coming up to b6. And now what does he do? He can go f2. He can do almost anything. It's really going to be difficult for white to ever eliminate this pawn. And also this pawn is just so weak. Like queen c5 can be really strong as well, just to threaten the pawn. It's a really difficult position right now for Fedosov. It's a really difficult position right now for Fedosov. So let's go ahead and see. Also rook f4. Like, look at all of black's pieces just coming in here. He goes f2. Gukesh goes f2. And now we're gonna probably be seeing something like maybe this, just to stop the pawn from coming down. Another idea could be to go queen c1, but it does feel a bit scary to give up the queen from defending the king right here. Also another idea, I mean, I wish we could go e5, but we can't. Sorry, d4 because of the rook. So he ends up going queen b4. And now, yeah, I mean, it's this idea to go queen d2. What happens if rook c5? Maybe queen a3. Okay, he goes rook c8 instead, putting some pressure on the c-file. Yeah, like, you cannot really promote this pawn right now. It's not like Gukesh is right now playing to promote the pawn, but what he is doing is that he's right now forcing all of white's pieces to be tied down to the defense of this pawn, and his king is just so weak. That is his main issue. Like, Fedosev's king is so weak. Look at this queen coming in here. This pawn is not hanging immediately, but there's checks. There's rooks coming in. It's basically an issue of the queen. And now finally Fedosev ends up taking this pawn, this nasty pawn that was just stopping everything he wanted. But there are now a lot of different checks. So queen b5 check. Also guys, doesn't it look like this plant is dying? I feel like it's a tree, by the way. It's like a giant plant. It's looking very sad. I'm looking at it and it's looking very sad. It's looking very, very, very sad. So yeah. It's, if you guys saw a close-up of it, it's looking very sad. I feel like it's gonna be dead by the time this tournament is done. Like, I really feel like it's gonna be dead by the time this tournament is done. Alright, so queen a4, now queen e3 is being played. Honestly, yeah, like, now, honestly, I kind of like Vladimir's chances more that this f2 pawn disappeared. Like, yes, the king is very weak, but he's creating this escape path for the king. And, I don't know. It's, at least there's no pawn that is right now completely dominating. And, I mean, to be fair, Fedosev is 2 pawns up. So if Gukesh messes this up, he's gonna be 2 pawns down, which is pretty big. It's my responsibility to take care of it. Maybe I should water it. Should I give it some water? Okay, there we go. I gave it a little bit of water. I gave it a tiny bit of water. Hopefully it'll feel better after. I mean, I could also like pour more, but yeah. That's that. Oh la la! I look away! And what is happening? Okay, so this Gukesh takes this pawn, which makes sense. But now the queen comes up. The king moves. He had this move, rook c3 apparently, which was completely winning. But the king moves. Now c4 is played, which looks crazy for this king. Rook b6, and this is now the current position. Wow. This is actually, like, guys, this was completely winning a few moves ago for Gukesh. Still looks like it's very good. It's very difficult, I think, for Fedosev to play this. They only have 25 seconds each, so very little time. Rook c2. It's such a roller coaster, yeah. Rook c2, and now, let's see, what can we do? Can we go queen check? Maybe queen a3 is what we want to do. We can also go rook b3. He's going queen a3 check. He's taking this pawn. This looks very natural just to open up for, like, it looks like this king is going to get checkmated. It's actually insane what the king is doing. It's going on a run right now. Maybe rook b3 looks good. 22 seconds for Gukesh. This looks so dangerous. Like, so dangerous. Rook d8. Okay, same idea as rook b3, I suppose. The idea simply of... Maybe the idea is going to be to go rook d3 instead. That also makes sense. So rook c3. Queen b2! Huh? Oh, that move didn't happen? They lied to us? He does go there. Okay. He put it there and then he took it back. But now there's d takes c4. And now the engine thinks this is equal. Wait, things are turning around over here. This king that looks so weak, it's actually pretty safe. And this is why we were saying that rook b3 was so important before, to not allow for him to be able to take on c4. And now Fedosev is a pawn up. And sure, this king is kind of weak, but we've exchanged so many pieces that the question becomes, can we do anything with this king that's so weak? Or is the c-pawn just going to become really strong? So Gukesh goes for this move. Rook takes e6, the idea being that if queen takes, we take this rook. And now queen takes c3. I guess now Gukesh is just going to try to go for this being a pawn up thing. But actually the only move that doesn't lose on the spot is king f2. And he finds it. Fedosev finds it. incredible move. I think we're going to see something like takes on c4. But yeah, now with just 2 pawns, it's going to be probably a longer endgame. It's not going to be as easy as it was before. Fedosev with literally the comeback of the century. This is crazy. Queen takes e7. And now what? How do you win this, Gukesh? How do you win this? It's going to be a draw. It's going to be a draw, everybody. It's not going to be possible for Gukesh to win this anymore, I think. And it was all because he moved his queen. If he would have gone here, rook b3, and just kept the pressure on this pawn, this wouldn't have been possible. But for some reason, he didn't want to move his rook to b3, not the move before, and not the move after rook d8. He wanted to keep it there, but now it all unfolded in this way. And this is now the current position. It's going to be a draw. There's nothing, I think, that can be done for this to not be a draw. It is the most drawn position I've seen in my life. Like, you can even just pick this up and then just, you know, at least try to get some kind of counterplay. But yeah, it's gonna be a draw. I mean, honestly, if takes, there's gonna be queen check. Yeah, king there, queen check. You're actually losing the bishop, so I guess you don't want to do that. Gukesh has drawn almost every single game. This is insane. Gukesh lost to Alireza Firouzja game 2, and he has drawn the rest of the games. It is actually crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be his 7th draw out of 9 games in the tournament. Out of 8 games in the tournament. 7 draws in 8 games. Insane. Insane. Okay, king g3. So the king goes up. And now you can take the bishop. Like, the bishop is hanging. But there's queen f8. And there is this check. And now, yeah. Is Gukesh playing for the win? Maybe Gukesh will keep on playing for the win. Because this b pawn is a lot more advanced than what this pawn is. It should be a draw. But of course, never say never. Things we've seen can happen here. So he's going to keep on fighting. But it's not over. b5. Let's see where he goes. See where this queen goes. Probably check. King a5. He has a pawn in a dream, you know. Maybe queen a4. Or king here. Yeah, because now if checked, this would be... Oh, this is not losing. Wow, yeah. And now check, and you... Like, now, obviously, if black was able to win this pawn, it would be winning for black. So, I mean, never say never. Like, you never know what's going to happen. But he's going to keep fighting here. He's going to keep fighting for the win. He's not he's not, like, taking the draw immediately. But this is huge for Fedosev, because if he would have lost this game, it would have been really tough for him to make it, to have a chance to make it to the classical portion of this tournament. But with a draw, it definitely brings his chances up to be able to keep playing in this tournament and not get knocked out today. Also, guys, we're seeing now in the commentary, there we have John, who is the person that has done this whole tournament, the owner of the hotel, and it's, you know, thanks to him that Freestyle chess that it exists in this way. So we see him there on the couch at the right of Tanya. He is the multimillionaire that, you know, it's really thanks to him that there is this kind of prize pool, and that it gets to happen in such a beautiful place, and he's been the drive for this to happen, together with some of the players as well. So he's sitting there in the couch talking about, you know, this whole tournament. Do they play classical after 960? So 960, also known as freestyle chess. They're going to be playing classical freestyle chess after today, yes. We're seeing all these checks. I think we're going to see a bunch of checks, but soon they will probably take a draw, because there is no way for the king to escape. And actually did they draw already? Oh yeah, no, they haven't drawn already. But, or? Maybe they did. I didn't see actually if the game finished. Let's check out how the other games are going. Magnus Carlsen beat Levon Aronian. We do have right now Alireza. I think he is still playing. Gukesh versus Fedosev does end up in a draw. Hikaru beat Vincent Kamer. And then Fabi and Javakir became a draw. And this now also became a draw. So, lots of draws in this round number 8. Lots of draws we're seeing. So yeah, wow. We've seen a lot of draws here. So let's go ahead and check out the current standings now. After all of this, let's go ahead and check out the current standings. Let me just do this. You know what we're seeing? We're seeing a lot of, honestly, we're seeing quite a lot of, blunders and stuff in these games, which is really exciting. But look at these standings. This is incredible. There we have John, by the way. The brain behind all of this. Here we have the current standings. Javakir Sindarov leading at this point. Javakir Sindarov leading. Let me just show that. With 6.5 points, 1 whole point more than Fabi. Then we have Fabiano and Alires on 5.5. Magnus now catching up on 4.5, together with Hikaru on 4.5. Vincent Kamer 3.5. Gukesh 3.5. Noterback on 3. Vladimir Fedosev on 2.5. And Levin Aronian on 1. Levin will be knocked out. It is mathematically impossible for him with 1 round left to be able to make it to the Classical. But Vladimir Fedosev does have a chance to surpass Noterback and maybe have Noterback, if he loses, be the one that is knocked out. So it's going to be really exciting to see. Chat, I am going to be leaving now for a little bit. I'll leave you guys with the stream because I will be now going to the playing hall to present what the next number is going to be, what the next position they're gonna play is. So you'll see me here in the broadcast. I'll turn it up and I'll see you guys very soon. Wish me luck. I'm going to the playing hall.
But now the step up with all of the cabins with this studio and the other studios, like just walking by these studios, like, this is Chess Base India, and this is Anna Crumling, and this is the Voter Sisters. It's like, wow, they're all, this is like, and it's always so funny because I have these ideas always in my mind right from the beginning. So I had this vision, right? But like Einstein said, vision without execution is hallucination, right? And far from hallucinating. But, so it is really, it's and it's this great studio. It's like, it's wonderful. It's like I see from the audience, you always see like this direction, right? So maybe we should position the camera also that the audience also can see like the castle and so on.
I was about to say, we're going to have to find a way to give people more of that behind the scenes look at the operation that's running here, because you're just getting a specific studio look for us here. I'm receiving word the results from this round already, so let's just check in with them real quick. As it is, players now staring down one final round, but here we have 2 decisive games with Nakamura and Carlsen picking up their victories, and then draws across the other 3 matchups. So Fedoseev coming away with half a point. Abdusattorov still keeping his slight advantage in that 8th place position. But we can also get an update on the standings overall, as there is just one game that separates each of these players from a top 8 finish and a quarterfinal bid, and it's really all eyes on Fedoseev, Noterback, and even Gukesh, because if Gukesh and Keimer at 3.5 are to drop a full point, drop their next game, and Fedoseev manages to win it, now we end up in 3.5 tied positions, which can make for a very, very interesting end of the day.
And interestingly, Levin Aronian, despite the fact he will not be fighting for the quarterfinals places, he will have a say. He could play spoiler in the last round. He plays Noterback Abdusattorov.
Wow.
Pressure's off Levon. Maybe he'll suddenly show his best now.
And for Gukesh, who's still in danger zone, guess who he plays? He's playing against world number 1. It's Magnus Carlsen versus Gukesh for the first time since Gukesh became world champion. We get that matchup. It's happening next.
I mean, we kicked the tournament off with Magnus versus Hikaru, and we're going to close the round robin with Gukesh versus Magnus, and you couldn't have asked for anything better for our inaugural tournament of 2025.
And James, no preparation, chess from the start.
Chess from the start. It's pure chess. That's what Magnus has on the record saying many, many times before, right? And in a lot of ways, I do feel like it's such a great equalizer. If anything, evidence of that has been Sindarov in this tournament. To think that we almost didn't have him here taking the shoes of Viswanathan Anand, a 5-time world champion, and he has come in and just made absolute waves.
Yeah, for me it was like when everything is a first for us right now. We had this first qualification, online qualification tournament. Of course, I watched it online, and I know that Daniel was moderating, and I saw the final game, this Armageddon between Fedoseev and Sindarov, and it was such an incredible game. And you see, like, Sindarov was winning the game, but he was losing on time, and like there was all this game going on. And I was like, I think we should have had them both, right? And then there was the news that Anand didn't want to play, so I said, okay, it's great, we're gonna have them both. But I even texted to Daniel, said, you know, hold on for an announcement, and then we made into the decision, let's not spoil everything, let's do it later. Then a few days later, we were at St. Pauli. You know, Magnus plays for St. Pauli in the Bundesliga, and so we were there. And then also, you know, David, you were also there. And then Sindarov was playing for Düsseldorf, right? So, and I haven't met him yet before, so I was just saying like this, you know, you're gonna hear from me. You know, he didn't know what it was about, and he also told me, like, after when I then finally texted him that he's invited, like a few days later, he said, yeah, it's good that you didn't tell me in Hamburg. I would have been so nervous, you know. And so I was like, so he's really the last one in, right? And then so he's just shooting up to the top, and he's now the single leader. He only has one draw, and I heard even this game he could have won, right? It was against, who was it that he did?
He's had chances everywhere. In this one, he took on, where is it? Caruana. Other leader.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really amazing. So yeah, and he's of course now. Yesterday also at dinner he was through already, so he was very excited and so on. Yeah. So and anyway, also Sebastian and I, we were basically betting that it's like it's not going to be the two qualificants who are out of the game. So yeah, we'll see. Still with the Fedoseev, we'll see what's going to happen. You know.
Yeah, anything can happen here in this final round. I mean, again, the players are probably undoubtedly feeling the pressure, and rightly so. But it sounds like with that, the lottery for the final position, the 9th and final position of our group stage is just about set. So one more time, we dive into the player hall to see where we start.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
You're doing such a great job. It's like insane. It's like day and night, you know.
Improvement.
Yeah. It's just, it's perfect, you know.
Good.
It's like because, you know, from our brains, the non-professional chess brains.
Robin Rapid. You can see the standings here behind me. So unfortunately, one player is eliminated already, but places 6 to 9 are all still in the running. So if you're not sure after your games whether you have to play a tiebreak, remember, everyone who is tied for 8th place will be playing a playoff. So don't go away, please, if you're a player and you're not sure if you have to play a playoff or not. As for the draw for tomorrow, that will be done tonight at dinner before dessert. So for now, it's time to call on the stage the last guest of the day. Please welcome Anna Crumling. $931. Thank you very much, Anna. You can leave the ball over there. Thank you so much. This is the last position. The players will have 10 minutes now. To the players, good luck, and to the spectators, enjoy.
Mathematically through, right? You're mathematically through?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
No weakness, 2 diagonals.
In the last game I realized that e4, h5 was very interesting. Just put the pawn on h4.
Ah, to dominate the
Yeah,
queen.
I just like thought I would play it over the board.
Nice. So I assume the question is whether you want to play b3. The first question, do you want to play dominate? I mean, do you want the game to dominate bishops at the start or not?
Also tempted to play e4. Just like if allowing e5 after like d5 or f5, or like f5 e5 is pretty bad.
Both one diagonal closes, which is good.
Burn might kind of get the center here. Like e5 also b3 is tempting.
b3
or just f4, no?
Or the next move maybe, because
Yeah.
g6 is not good, right? f4.
f4.
Okay, maybe it's not bad d6, but at least it looks passive.
But you're threatening to take, yeah?
Any other move? f4, right?
fb6.
Okay, if I to break, it would like d5, f6. We have to f6. What do you think?
Knight f3, no?
Which one?
G. G5. Yeah, f6.
G5, knight d4.
Ah.
Knight g7.
Knight g7.
Knight g7.
Maybe.
Queen d2. Okay.
Yeah, I mean d5 is kind of potential.
Yeah.
d4.
Which is better, man?
Yeah.
Why should be better after d4?
Also, f4 could be, because you're left with this backwards up pawn, maybe.
And if e5 here, f4, yeah? Or b3?
Yeah,
no,
but b3 I think maybe g5, then it gets kind of stale.
So e5, f4.
Yeah.
You like g2?
It's still knight
No,
f3.
no.
G3, I don't
Yeah, probably just maybe b6.
You play the forward guy, yeah?
Knight h3, maybe?
Yeah, we have problem with this knight.
Yeah, g4.
Yeah.
There's
No.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
So maybe e4, e5?
Yeah, e5. Yeah. f4, yeah.
f4 d5 is a bit much. Yeah, just f8.
f4 maybe knight f6 is not working.
You cannot play in d5, e5, c5, something like this. French.
Some b4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the king looks way too exposed now.
So if you go g6, then what happens? Play f4 or?
Yeah.
If you try c5.
So maybe e5, e5. e5, f5, bishop f5, d4 is impossible because of king h6.
But knight f3, then
Knight f3, bishop g7, king d1.
It's not
It's, yeah.
but yeah, b3 we are also in the pin, yeah? And if you want this, we could also start e5 and go ef.
Yeah, but isn't the queen kind of nice enough?
take
for it?
knight e7.
We can go bishop g7 at some point, and then he's also start with b5.
What other options?
I don't like this.
I mean, there's b6, yeah? Yeah, b6, why not b6?
And maybe e5.
Hello? What's up, chat? We're back. Did you see me? Did you see me over there? I'm back. Hope you saw me do my drawing. I hope it was good. I don't know. I didn't really know exactly what to do. But 931 was the drawing, so I hope it was a good one. I I didn't see it. Like, I literally just picked one. I didn't see which one it was. I was trying to not even look at the balls so that people wouldn't say that I, like, picked one on purpose. But anyways. Oh, amazing. Now I've done it. All right, so they're all sitting there. It was so cozy to see, like, everybody just sitting by the two different spots discussing the different positions. I was able to check it out for a little bit, but this is the position I picked, 9-3-1. And honestly, it looks pretty good. Look at those bishops. I like those bishops on the two sides of the board, like sniping down. Like, you probably have to do something like B3 and G3. That looks like the most sensible thing in the world, just to get those bishops active. I feel like now there's going to be a huge advantage. No, it's not. I was going to say, if you go B3, if you push that pawn in front of the rook 1 square, if you go B3, then I guess the opponent can go B6 as well, and then, yeah, your bishop is going to be stuck too, because as we can see, it's going to be forcing the other bishop to stay in its corner. I'll show it to you. Gukesh, as we can see, is analyzing by himself. Yeah, it was quite fun to see how everybody was, together, and then Gukesh was just sitting and analyzing by himself. So definitely Gukesh taking a different approach from other people. But yeah, very, very, very cool to see all the players there. Like, yeah, it's honestly fantastic. Who else is there at the venue to stream? There is a lot of people. Like, there was so many different media people. But yeah, anyways, let's check out what the players are talking about. I want to see what they're saying. Oh, I can't see. My eyes are too bad. I need glasses. I can't see. I can't see. Yes, please zoom in. It's like they're hearing me. It's like production is hearing me. No, don't put it back. Don't put it back. I wanted to see what you were analyzing. Don't put it back. It's like production heard me. Get back the position you had. I want to know. Oh, I have to like sit like this in front. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. And yeah, this is a bad angle. We don't get to see what they're talking about here either. Anyways, I think the games are going to start at any moment. And I also want to remind everybody that there are going to be playoffs. If there are a lot of people that are on the 8/9 spot, there is going to be a playoff for, who basically gets 9th and 8th, etc. So there are playoffs after this if people end up with the same score. So this could be the final round of the day, or we could be seeing some playoffs as well. I'll be honest and say that I don't know the exact rules for the playoffs. I haven't looked into it. So if anybody here knows, that is fantastic. I don't really know myself, but we will get to know that whenever that happens. And once again, it's really big to become like 9th or 10th or 8th or 7th, because you also get points for the Grand Slam tour, which is a tour that's going to be throughout this year. So you're seeing now this tournament in Weissenhaus, but if you think that that's a lot of fun, in 2 months there's going to be another tournament, and there's going to be a lot of tournaments throughout the year. There's going to be a tournament in India, there's going to be a tournament in Paris, there's going to be a tournament I think in some other one in the US. Like, there's gonna be, literally, this is going throughout the world, and it's gonna be a full tour this whole year, and it's starting in Germany. So yeah, all right, let's check out how it starts, and it's gonna finish in South Africa. Exactly, New York and South Africa. Okay, let's see what is happening and what they are saying in the commentary room. We have over there David Howell. Let's listen in.
Game world champion, right? And when he did, he said, yes, I'm world champion, but I'm not the best player on the planet. And that's his aim. He was dying to play against Magnus. Magnus at the start of Freestyle says the one player he's really looking forward to play against is Gukesh. And we get that in this final round. The Chess Base India studio is probably going wild. The Take studio is going wild. All of India, all of Norway waiting for this matchup, James.
Soon enough, we'll be going wild. I can guarantee.
It's happening, everybody! Gukesh versus Magnus Carlsen. We've waited for this moment. Is it the first time they play against each other over the board? This is a huge, huge, huge matchup. Wow, so many people have been waiting to see the world chess champion versus who many, well, say is the best chess player in the world, Magnus Carlsen, the highest ranked player in the world. Now, I'm very surprised that the first move that Gukesh does is f4, because it feels like you really want to make sure that both of your bishops don't get stuck. Maybe the reason for this is because he wants to go knight f3 pretty quickly and then be able to go g3. But here I would definitely go b3 maybe, just to make sure that the bishop on the other side is, yeah, there we go. We do see b3, just to make sure that the bishop on the other side does get locked in. So here we have the position with the eval bar. We see now that this bishop is sniping down all the way there. So g6 is not possible for Magnus, because then the bishop would be hanging. Yes, let's get a prediction here on Twitch on if we think Magnus or Gukesh is going to be getting, or what the result is going to be. So let's get a prediction, mods, here on Twitch. Please, on YouTube, give me also what you think is going to be the result. Do you think it's going to be a win for Gukesh, a win for Magnus? Do you think it's going to be a draw? I mean, considering we've seen 7 draws from Gukesh, a draw isn't such a surprising result, but anything can happen in each game. So do let me know what you think is going to happen. I'm also kind of going to make myself, I think, a little bit bigger over here. I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger over there. Can you go to Levin's board? It shows that he has no time. If it shows that there's no time... Wait, what's happening? Oh, maybe he's not... Is he not playing the last round? Wait, I'm confused. What's happening? This is Levin's board. I cannot really fully show it. But as you guys can see over here, maybe... Levin Aronian right now only has a minute left on the clock. Maybe he's not playing the final game. He's just gonna resign because he's out anyways. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. His time is just ticking. He's on 52 seconds. I'll show you through this maybe so you guys can... Do you guys see the time ticking down? 42 seconds? Yeah. That's his game. That's his board just ticking down. Wow, okay, so maybe that's just, yeah, how it is because of the fact that he's knocked out. Anyways, let's go back to the Gukesh game versus Magnus Carlsen. So here we have g3, and this is kind of what we're expecting. So we see Saint Sparta giving us a prime. Thank you so much. Primes are amazing. They're free and they support and they're amazing, and we love primes. So thank you. So we see g6, and now we get this trade-off, and then g3, and this bishop is also going to be pretty good here. This looks like a very balanced position. So far, so good. Probably white will... White is like already castled. Wait, this is strange. White has already castled because the king and the rook are in like the castle position. So I guess you can't castle here. So what is this rook gonna do? Wouldn't it be better to have this pawn on b4 to be able to get this rook free? Otherwise this rook is just stuck here, it feels like. Yeah. I'm not even sure. I'm honestly not even sure. Okay. It is also looking like it's a little bit weak. I mean, I guess knight d3 is going to be a move pretty soon. I'm not sure if now, but knight d3 looks logical to be able to place a knight on e5. Also defend on g7. Maybe we want to go... I feel like we want to go something like this as white. Do we want to go knight e5 now? Maybe, I'm thinking, just to kind of trade. Put a little bit of pressure on this pawn. And then also, if you ever push over here, well, then we have knight c6, which would be fantastic. So is this something that we want to do? I'm not sure. He's taking his time to think about it, but this is such a huge... Oh, guys, sorry. You guys are not seeing my... Sorry. You guys are not seeing my... Sorry. You guys are not seeing my arrows. There we go. Yeah, so what I was saying is that knight e5 right now could be a good move, because if takes and queen takes and something like d5, then you have this move knight c6. So the knight is pretty well placed. You could go f6, but then maybe you can go knight c4. So let's see, what does he do? He goes e3 instead, preparing probably d4. preparing probably to go for this move, d4, and then open up the d file. So this could very much be something he's trying to do. What else is there here? There is also, yeah, knight c7 looks very logical to get his knight out. And after, oh, I don't know if you want to go d5, because then there's going to be knight e5. It's just a little bit tricky. Maybe you can go queen h3 and just get this queen a little bit strong over here and get the queen working immediately. Because the queen over here, look, it's pointing to the knight. It's preventing this d-pawn from pushing. There's a lot of things going on here. Let's check out also the Vladimir Fedosev versus Hikaru game. This is going to be big as well to see if Vladimir is able to stay. But after 8 moves, Vladimir is much worse and Vladimir needs to win. Probably, or maybe draw. But he needs to survive this game to not get knocked out instantly. This is the final game of the day. If Vladimir Fedosev loses this game, he will get knocked out of the tournament because he will end in 9th position and both 9th and 10th get knocked out. So this is really big. How did it go so wrong immediately? So g4 was the move Hikaru started with. They had all these takes. Hikaru went for what I was talking about. Just instantly get those bishops working and doing their thing. And then Fedosev went very aggressively with g5. He took, and now e4. Wow, what a beautiful move. And now en passant is not possible because the queen is hanging. So queen a5 instead, bishop c3, queen over here. And now e5, threatening the knight. The knight went back. And now this pawn was hanging. It's equal material, but this knight just cannot go anywhere. This queen is badly placed. White has developed. And now Fedosev is going for a pawn. Wow. Fedosev is trying to get some activity with these, well, at least saying, okay, I'm in a worse position, but I'm a pawn up. So, wow, okay, threatening the bishop. Now, probably the knight will get out, but just look at the development of white in comparison to black's development. Like, black hasn't developed almost any piece, whereas white has developed almost everything. Like, the knight is out, the bishop is out, this knight is gonna get out, this bishop is strong. Black just has only developed the queen. That's the only piece. So knight h3 is played probably to try to trap the queen a little bit. So that's what Hikaru ends up doing. And now let's go ahead and see what Fedosev does. How does he get out of this tricky position? I would go queen g3 before they trap me and say, hey, I don't want to lose my queen. Because otherwise, like, I mean, okay, you can't go queen f3, but knight g7. I mean, I'm worried about my queen getting trapped. And I'm saying because I'm right now trying to play out of white's position. But this is a little bit scary. But okay, he's going here probably to be able to go knight f5 and then bring out the knight. So maybe this isn't so bad. But queen d3 looks really good. Stopping knight f5, threatening this pawn on h7. Queen d3 looks amazing. I love queen d3 for Hikaru. This looks like a really good move. Let's see if he does this move or not. Can we please focus on Magnus Gukesh? Chat, I am focusing on whatever the broadcast is focusing on because that's how I'm getting the camera feed. So I'm not able to pick myself what games to watch. I'm kind of just waiting for them to switch around. So that is just the way it works. Thank you so much, Real Soul Reaper, for the 8 months. I appreciate it. Saying woohoo! Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. That was I feel like I'm gonna sneeze again. You know, guys, Andrea Botas has been really sick. I am waiting for me to get sick as well because she has a cold, and I feel like whatever she has, I am gonna get as well. Because I had a 2-hour dinner with her the other day, and then yeah. So soon, I'm hoping I don't get sick. I'm hoping I don't get sick. But yeah, I don't think I'm sick yet though. I'm fine. I'm hoping my 2-hour dinner with her doesn't make me sick. Alright, so they're back on Magnus versus Gukesh. Let's check out the Magnus Gukesh position and see how that game is going. It's looking so far pretty balanced. Probably one of the most balanced positions so far. But I think this game means a lot to both players because when I asked Magnus, who are you the most excited to face? He said Gukesh. Magnus was really excited to play against Gukesh. And by the way, you'll see all of this when my episode with Magnus comes out today. I'm really excited to show you. I'm very excited. I'm very, very, very excited. I'm literally posting my Magnus video today. It's going to be so much fun on YouTube. So if you're right now watching this on YouTube or Twitch, like, watch that video. You guys are going to be very happy to see it, I think. So, yeah. Anyways, it's my first time making a video with Magnus ever since 3 years ago when I played him in a park in Madrid. So yeah, very, very, very fun. Alright, so Queen E2 was the last move that was played. And now, okay, we see E5. We see E5 over here. It honestly looks almost like a regular position with both of the players fighting for the center. And now there's a lot of different options that can happen here in the center. Like, what do you want to take? Do you want to take this pawn on F5? Do you want to take on E5? What do you want to take, you know? Guys, you're all hating on my camera view. Okay, I'm going to change my camera view. I'm going to change my... You guys are all hating on my camera view. What is wrong with this camera view, chat? I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong with my beautiful camera view. I like my camera view. It's a beautiful view. I'm gonna leave it all like that. My camera view is getting so roasted, but I love my camera view. Okay, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, let's go back here. Oh, I got one guide and then it was even the wrong one. Okay. It's just throughout the whole stream, so many people have talked about my camera angle. Maybe they've talked about the camera angle of the players, but I quite like the camera angle of the players. Amazing. All right, well, let's continue. 4 minutes for Gukesh. Gukesh is like me. He gets into time trouble, I feel like. But he's also very much better than me when he does get into time trouble. So, we have E5 as the final move. And okay, now there's a few questions. Every time there's this big blob of pawns in the center, we have to ask ourselves, what do we do with the big blob of pawns? Do we take them? Do we stay with them? Do we keep the tension? So here, Gukesh says, okay, I'm going to get rid of one of these pawns. So he takes, the knight comes out. I kind of like taking an F5 because then this pawn becomes quite weak. Now taking an F5 is not possible, but I kind of like taking here because the idea for me was... Yeah, honestly, what's even happening? If takes, we win a piece. Okay, so I guess you have to go rook e8. Okay, maybe he didn't want to open up the e file, but I like the idea of making that pawn a bit weak. And now maybe we'll see knight d3, and then maybe actually Gukesh is going to play... I see now, I think, what I think he wants to do. I think he wants to do something like this. Also, the floor is trembling, and I see Andrea Botas jumping. Okay, things are happening over there next to me. I'm not sure what's going on. But maybe this... now taking on f5 and creating this weak pawn. And now this pawn would be weak forever. Okay, so he does... Wow! Look at the... Huh? You can do this? Way too dank. Way too dank! This castles is way too dank. What? I mean, I know you can, but I just wasn't expecting that move. I wasn't expecting that move. That is a crazy castles. Okay, so once again, this is freestyle chess. So as long as you can get a king to g1 or c1, you can do castles. And I guess, yeah, your way of castling with this rook is all the way on g1, because short castles is always on g1 and long castles is always on c1. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so d5 and now d4 is the move that he played. And I'm wondering, just quite frankly, what happens if you take it? What happens, ladies and gentlemen, is that you put a rook on d1, and after the queen moves somewhere... Oh, I guess you just play against this pawn, but this to me still doesn't look so clear. Like, you're giving up a pawn. Maybe you just go knight d3, and then you just... No, you don't go knight d3. Wow. Maybe just rook d1, and you're trying to play against this. Okay. Yeah, this feels like a very risky move to go for this long castles. And now for this d5. What happens if you pick up the pawn like this? Then you're going to go knight d3, and I suppose that after whatever, you're just going to pick up this pawn on f5. So I guess this move e5 is just a way of opening up for this knight and then opening up for this rook on the d file. So it's quite, wow, d4 is the best move here. What a crazy sacrifice. This is the kind of move that I could never in my life do myself. Like, I don't think, oh my, it's trembling. Did you hear that? It was like an earthquake, but it was Andrea Botas jumping. Anyways, so, anyways, d4, what a crazy move. Why should jumping? Those are questions that I have no answers to. Oh, yeah. Wow, that was crazy. That was crazy. Okay, so d4, and what do you do? I mean, it feels like you have to. It feels like you have to take. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and do this. I think they're filming some stuff. They're having fun. They're filming some stuff, but that was like, it's crazy how the whole floor trembled. All right, so here, yeah, once again, d4, crazy move. The idea, like I said, is just for the knight to either go to d3 or to be able to get a rook here up on the d file immediately. So it's definitely a pawn sacrifice, and it's made Magnus a bit confused, I think. It's made Magnus a bit confused. He takes with the queen, and now instantly Gukesh picks up on f5, goes rook d1, queen g7, and I like this now for Gukesh because this pawn on f5 is so weak. This pawn on f5 is so weak. Wow. What a move. d4 is such an interesting chess move. Like, very interesting. He's going knight h3 instead. Gukesh is being so creative. He's going knight h3 instead. And then he's going to get the knight up to a good square. And I actually quite like this. Can you go castles here? No, you can't because the queen is stopping the castles. Yeah. So black cannot castle anyway. Could black have castle? Black could have castled here, I suppose. But obviously that wouldn't work because the queen is hanging. But yeah, black could have done that there. Okay, anyways, we have the current position, which is knight h3. It's Magnus to move, and wow, I'm actually really impressed. Like, if Gukesh would win this game, it would be huge. It would be huge. It would be huge. Rook f8 is played by Magnus Carlsen, defending this pawn, and now I'm wondering, Gukesh, can we bring over the queen to the other side of the board? Bring the sorry. So I am wondering, why can he play? Oh, he couldn't castle before because of this. And yeah, now we see actually Magnus, he long castles c4, and now we saw long castles by Magnus Carlsen, which simply meant putting the rook right over. So now this rook is in a much better square. It makes a lot of sense to have moved this rook to allow for the rook to be able to get over here. So I wonder, like, can we still play queen h5? I like queen h5, but now it's just not as good, as this pawn would get a little bit weak. So maybe we'll see knight f4. That could be a good option. There we go. That's what he ends up playing. This knight is really good on f4. It's an outpost for the knight, which is one of those chess terms that we all want to know. One of those chess terms that we all want to know, an outpost. And if you don't know anything about chess, you are literally going to learn something now with that word. So, rook e8. Now, once again, queen h5. Can we bring the queen over to h5 to pick up this pawn? Also, queen d3, queen c2 makes sense. I just want to attack this f5 pawn. That's everything that I want. I want to pick up this f5 pawn. Can we do it? Can we do it? I hope we can. So, let's see what Gukesh does. Will he go over there? Or where will he go? I think he's going to go queen h5. But then the question is, okay, what happens if queen e5? Can we start picking up pawns? No, that feels too scary. That feels too scary. Let's say queen e5. Can we go something like, I guess then you just take it. Isn't this worrisome? Oh, you just got rook f2 and it doesn't matter. It's not a scary thing. Okay, well, Gukesh is really thinking over here. There is a big time difference between the two players. We see 4 minutes versus 2. Magnus Carlsen right now with double the time versus Gukesh. Double the time. But I think that anything can happen in this game, honestly. This is about to get very spicy. I think absolutely anything can happen. We do see Queen D3 by Gukesh, and he's threatening the pawn on F5 now. What is Magnus gonna do? If Magnus now would go Queen E5, then there is knight takes, and now after all of this, I actually end up winning a pawn. So that is his idea with going Queen D3, that he's not just threatening this pawn on F5, but he's also threatening this pawn on D5 with the pawn. So Magnus goes D4, but now Queen takes F5 is a possible move. You can also trade these pieces first, which is the better way of playing it, and Gukesh is now equal material versus Magnus Carlsen. And I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. You can go Queen H5 to try to go Knight D5 and Rook F7. I'm starting to like this move more and more for Gukesh. I'm very impressed by his play, and I think the move that's the most impressive of them all is this one. D4 here looks completely crazy, so impressive, and he found this crazy move, played it. It was one of the best moves in the position to get some counterattack after him getting a worse opening, and now he's kind of dominating the position. So I really like that move that he found way earlier. All right, so he ends up trading the queens versus Magnus Carlsen. Now that we're entering an endgame, this connected pass pawn could become dangerous, but we also see that this pawn is quite weak, and if this pawn gets eliminated, these two pawns are going to be killers in this position. K-Dog, thank you so much for resubscribing 3 months. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So now also there's the threat of Knight F6 fork. Knight F6 fork. And honestly, this position, like, it absolutely could be a regular chess game. This does not look like a 960 or a freestyle chess game anymore. This absolutely just looks like a regular chess game from this point forward, I think. Like, if this was any regular endgame, we would all think it came from a normal game. So, Rook G7 was played. We do know that Magnus likes endgames, and he does have an endgame with more time, but it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of pressure Gukesh can put on him. So now Magnus finally activates his knight. It goes to C7. And I don't want to trade, especially we shouldn't allow Magnus to, like, something like this would be a disaster, because after knight takes D5 and something like Rook D7, this pawn, we're going to wave bye-bye to it. Like, there's no way of defending it. It would be a complete disaster after King C7 and King D6. So very important to not allow the knights to trade over here. So something like Knight F6 or Knight F4 makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. So Knight F4, now getting the knight to a better square. And we're waving. We're waving to the Botha sisters. Okay, so King D7. Now Rook E5, Gukesh is trying to activate his rook. They're both playing a fantastically strong game. The accuracy for Gukesh is 94.4. For Magnus Carlsen is 93.9. It's incredible. The rook is getting active, and now I think the plan for Gukesh is going to be to get the king up as actively as he can. I do really quickly want to see how the other games are going. All the other games look like they're ongoing. Vladimir Fedosev looks like he's losing. Alireza Farusha looks like he's completely winning against Javakir Sindarov. Also Javakir with only 15 seconds to go. Levin Aronian... Oh, no, it didn't happen. Levin Aronian did play the game versus Noterback, and it looks like it's... Oh, it became a draw. Oh, yeah, it became a draw. So... What I thought that they had run down the time, but no, he did play, and it ended up becoming a draw between him and Noterback. And yeah, we're going back now to the Magnus Gukesh game. So Rook E7, Gukesh is almost gonna be under a minute on the clock, and now where does he go? Does he trade the rooks? Does he go Rook H5? Does he go Rook F5? What does he end up doing is the question. So we're going to see Rook H5 is the move that he ends up doing. Maybe we're gonna see knight e6 now. Maybe there'll be some rook d5. We will see. So knight e8 is played. And then I think we're going to see knight d5, honestly. I think knight d5 looks really good. Just because then you're also kind of preventing this knight from coming up to f6. But this rook, Magnus is being really smart, like he is. Because this rook is nasty. It's stopping the king from stopping this pawn from promoting. So now this rook is saying, hey, king, I am stopping you. You're not going to go to the defense of this pawn. And if, you know, you're not careful... Oh, Gukesh puts the knight there, but then he goes back. He does end up going there. If you're not careful, the rook is so off the board, the king is cut off. If this knight starts doing funny things, it might be that this pawn becomes unstoppable. So obviously now you do have knight c3, but Gukesh has to be really careful because this pawn has the ability of becoming strong and a winning pawn very fast. Not just in like, you know... 5 moves, but it can become strong now. And if like this knight goes on its own adventure up over here, this pawn just wins. Like there's no way of stopping it. So this is a very, very tricky situation right now. Obviously, you also want to make sure that you're active. So now the threat for Gukesh is to go knight f6 and maybe. I mean, okay, actually, I'm not sure if this is a threat because, yeah, he does go knight f6. I don't know where the king goes. Maybe king e7. Maybe then we'll go knight d5. Maybe I mean, it could almost become a draw, but I don't know if we will see a draw over there. Is d3 too crazy? We never want to go d3 unless we have to go d3. That's very important. If knight takes h7, I would be scared. Like, I don't know if d3 is possible yet. It's not because this is hanging. But like knight e4, and excuse me, but... You know, d3, I'm sorry, I'm scared. Where does this knight go? I'm not even sure. Rook d5 check, something like this. And yeah, you have to sacrifice the knight. That's how strong that pawn is. I'm telling you, this pawn is a winning pawn. It's like a treasure. It's like you have this pawn and you know that no matter what, like, you're gonna be fine. Okay, so, yeah, the knight goes back. Gukesh is obviously not wanting to create weird, scary situations by placing the knight on h7. So, what will Magnus do now? What will Magnus do? How does he continue? Will the king go back? Okay, then we will see check again. Maybe he'll go knight f5. Maybe he will go knight f5. This looks like a good move, but then you have to get this rook active, and maybe you're helping now white get back into activity. So it's looking as if the game is going to become a draw. They've both played almost a perfect game, but we don't know. And with little time on the clock, both players have the ability of blundering. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to turn to a draw. Definitely black, if someone is going to win, it's probably Magnus that's going to win because just how strong this pawn has the potential to be. But for sure, it's looking as if it's going to become a draw. So Gukesh instantly goes rook e6, literally instantly. And I wish we could have like some intense music over here. God, I'm so intrigued. I really want to ask Andrea what they're doing right now outside. I'm really I really want to ask. King d7. Now let's see where the rook goes. I mean, Magnus is applying a lot of pressure because what you guys are not seeing is that if Gukesh doesn't play the best moves over here, Magnus is definitely going to get an advantage. So let's see now that you go something like rook e1, which looks like it makes a lot of sense. Now you can go knight e7. Let's say you go knight f4. Well, now you can start chasing this knight. You can even maybe go knight c6, knight b4 and start playing over there. So we see rook e2, and I think we're going to see knight e7 by Magnus Carlsen. And this is the kind of position that you don't want to get against Magnus Carlsen because Magnus is famously known for being the player that can squeeze milk out of any position. He can squeeze anything there is to squeeze. The saying is squeezing water out of a rock. Magnus is one of the best players in the world to squeeze water out of a rock. And This is what he's most famously known for. Positions that look like they're going to end up being a draw. Magnus finds the ways of making it the hardest for the opponent and constantly but surely does what the eval bar is saying that he's doing right now, which is slowly but surely get a little bit more advantage. And Magnus has been known for doing this for many years. And honestly, I mean, the other day, Fedosov said, when I was talking to him, he said that Magnus was by far the best player in the world to do this for, you know, at least up until 2018, 2019. And he said that he was the best player in the world to do it by far. There was no competition when it comes to squeezing water out of a rock. And so we know how good Magnus is at doing that, how, you know, the capabilities he has at doing that. And now here we are seeing it. Water from air? No, water from a rock. Is there really water on rocks? Is that really the saying? So look at that. He's brave. Magnus is a brave man. The king is coming up. And honestly, no matter what, like, if I was Gukesh and I had 20 seconds on the clock, I'd be pretty terrified facing this pawn, facing this king, facing this knight, facing this rook coming in. Like, this is, even if the engine is saying that this is fine, rook b7, it looks terrifying. I think it looks scary. I would go rook b7 here as Magnus Carlsen. I would do that. How about this? It's like getting oil out of water because oil and water do not mix. So squeezing oil out of water, wouldn't that be a great saying? I feel like that would be a good saying. Yeah, I like that saying. Yeah. Chat, you've just never heard this. This is a good saying. I think we should all start saying squeezing oil out of water. It makes perfect sense. Why does this not make sense? I don't understand. Now look at this. Look at the squeeze. Now this pawn on c4. There's nothing that is defending it. This pawn is alone. There's no pawn defending it. Magnus Carlsen has managed to trade off pawns in such a way that this pawn is standing all alone. And unfortunately, the case is going to be that this pawn will be taken at some point. Now, knight f4 is really good because if you do this, you have check, and actually you cannot go here because the rook is hanging. You must go king e6, and then there's knight takes c5 check, and then it's not as strong. But now, I mean, let's say you just do something else. Let's say you go something like d3 or something, or you just move the rook to c7. Now you're threatening this, and how are you going to defend it? Okay, maybe you'll go knight d3 check, but guess what? I'm going to go king e4, and I'm going to... I thought we were getting checkmated. No. Okay, rook e2, king f5. Best move by Magnus. Gukesh with only 13 seconds on the clock. 6 seconds. He goes knight d5. And now rook b7 is a very strong move. And Magnus immediately finds it. Gukesh making some inaccuracies with little time. And Magnus might do what Magnus does, which is... squeeze oil out of thin water. Alright, so h3. He's now preventing the king from going up. But this now just looks so incredibly good for Magnus. He can pick and choose what he wants to do. And he's finding all the best moves. Knight e4. Now this pawn is hanging. Knight c3 is coming. This rook is active. The king is all alone over here. Magnus is doing what Magnus does. He is winning a game that nobody thought he could win. And Gukesh he made a move with a second on the clock. And Magnus, he's unforgiving. He instantly replies. He's not even giving Gukesh a second to think. Gukesh going back and forth to not lose on time. And now Magnus has all the time in the world to do whatever he wants. Pick up pawns, push his pawn, whatever he wants. You want to push the pawn even further, Magnus? Then go ahead. D2. You can push it all the way. You can even go rook f7 check. No, Magnus wants to activate his king. Well, then he gets to do that. He gets to do anything he wants because he's in a fully winning position right now. And now Gukesh resigns and Magnus Carlsen wins against Gukesh. It is official. He beats Gukesh in freestyle chess. And I think what's most impressive out of anything is how we were saying a few moves ago, this will probably end up in a draw. It's looking like it's equal, but Magnus was able to take the advantage of this d4 pawn and make it into a win. And that is why Magnus is as strong as he is. He literally created something out of nothing. And it's impressive. That's all there is to say. It's impressive. Magnus did his Magnus things. And it's why he's still ranked #1 in the world. Incredible game by Magnus. Incredible endgame by Magnus. Just 95.6 accuracy after this whole game. Incredible game by Magnus Carlsen. Wow. He's so good at endgames. You don't want to get into an endgame with Magnus. Let's now check out the game between Fabiano Caruana and Vincent Keimer. Fabiano, who started today, well, who came in today with such an amazing score with 4.5 out of 5, but now he has not been able to win a single game today. Let's see if this could be the game that changes that. He's still doing a good tournament, but to stay in the lead, he must be able to keep the pressure going. So this position is the weirdest one I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know what the material is. So now Vincent is thinking, is he going to go g2 or is he going to take the knight? He ends up going g2 first, bishop d4, only move to prevent this. And now, what is the material? It's equal material. It's, yeah, 4 pawns versus 4 pawns. Knight and bishop. I guess that these pawns are easy to... They're not so easy because if you go king e2, wow, actually there's knight g5, and now knight f3 is coming and you're losing. So Fabi has to be really careful, but he finds the best move, which is a5, unforgiving, and now if takes, he's going to go bishop takes a7, and this is very sharp because this pawn is rolling, but it's important for it to roll. Wow, this is just really, really incredible. What is going on here? What is going on? Is there freestyle chess elo? No, there's no freestyle chess elo yet, as far as I know, but I do think that this is something that we might see in the future. So, well, I mean, obviously we don't know, but I'm sure this is something that the people from freestyle chess would love to see at some point. But obviously I don't know. But yeah, maybe in the future we will see it. Maybe in the future we'll see it as a separate rating from classical rating. Or classical chess. But for now we don't know. And look at that. Fabi making a move very, very quickly. Knight, yeah, now we see that white has this pawn. And we see knight d6. And yeah, now, like, even if this pawn is very strong, this is so sharp. This a pawn is just so sharp because, like, if you don't really calculate, it feels like this pawn can at any point promote. But I guess now if you push, you're just going to go king c3 and we're going to pick it up. This bishop is so good at preventing these pawns from promoting, but unfortunately this pawn is pretty weak. But playing this with little time on the clock must be a nightmare. I would go here c4 just to be able to play c5. I don't know if it's the best move, but this is what I would do. And yeah, like I said, I don't know if this is the best move. But 9 seconds for Fabiano. 9 seconds for Fabiano. Okay. King c3. Will we see knight e4 check? Yes. Picking up this pawn. We have king b4. I think now we're going to see king takes a4 or c4. Maybe. Yeah, no. We do see king takes a4. King a5. I mean, now if king a6, obviously it's going to get tricky, but I think Vincent will just go king b7 and not allow for this pawn to push any further. I believe that is what we're going to see. 17 seconds for Vincent Keimer. 17 seconds for Vincent Keimer. He goes knight e4 instead. What happens now? If king a6, it is to go knight c5. And now if you take, it is losing because you go check. You go check, and then this pawn becomes the winning pawn. So knight e4, 20 seconds for Fabiano. What will he do? What move will he do? What move will he do? What? He resigns? Oh, he draws. Okay. The offer to draw. I didn't realize that there was a draw offer. I didn't realize there was a draw offer. Okay. It was a draw. It was a draw. It makes sense. It all makes sense. GG's. That became a draw between Fabiano Caruana and Vincent Kamer. So today, Fabi drew a bunch of games and lost one. Obviously, maybe not the exact result he wanted, but he still has a great placement in this tournament. And there's plenty of games to go. I mean, we have all of the classical chess portion to go. Like I was saying, this was the final round of the Rapid. We're going to be seeing classical chess starting tomorrow. So let's check out what the results were. So between Fabi and Vincent Kamer, it became a draw. Ali Reza beat Javakir Sindarov. Hikaru won against Vladimir Fedosev, which means that Vladimir Fedosev was now knocked out. Draw between Levin Aronian and Nordibek, and Magnus Carlsen won against Gukesh. So let's check out now the placements, just to see how this ended up, or what the standings are right now. Let's check them out really quickly, and here we have them. So here we can see what the standings are. Ali Reza Farusha taking the lead with 6.5 points, followed by Javakir Sindarov with 6.5 points, followed by Fabiano with 6 points. Magnus Carlsen now getting much closer to the lead with 5.5 points, only 1 point away. Hikaru as well, doing really well with 5.5 points. And then we have Vincent Kamer on 4, and then Nordibek and Gukesh on 8 points. So I suppose that there will be no tie breaks, right? Because it's already decided that Levin Aronian and Vladimir Fedosev will be knocked out. But let's listen in a little bit to the broadcast to see what they are talking about. Gukesh was close to get, well, no, not really. He was a full point away from getting knocked out, honestly. Let's listen in.
Samu 97, then...
So you saw this but didn't like it?
Yeah, I think 97 or C5 doesn't matter, but when I was played 97, yeah, it was completely losing position, yeah. No, maybe bad, but not lose. But I didn't like my position.
Gives the advantage.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's big advantage to white. Yeah, C5 was a very good move.
So was the point that you had to stop this break?
Yeah, I play first C5, B takes C6 and knight E7, yeah, and I think I was completely fine.
So you just push?
What computer saying here? Oh, it says +1 around. Why? Knight E7.
Knight E7. And the pawn just pushes forward.
And then Queen D6 was coming. Yeah.
Not so easy to win in
fact. Yeah, it's not so easy. But yeah, I think opening was I take a very good position after the opening. Yeah, it's a very good game, but yeah, I was little bit tired today. No, tomorrow, but yeah. I need to take a rest for tomorrow classical.
I think understandably so. Maybe that leads to my next question, which is maybe some of the major differences that you identify between classical chess and freestyle chess. You talk about energy. While maybe there's less preparation because you don't know what the starting position will be, it feels like in the moment the demands of calculations might be even greater because of the unfamiliarity with the position.
Yes, in freestyle chess, the most important thing was I was like it was you don't need the preparation.
Good question.
Because in a normal chess, when you are played against very good opponents, you need to prepare 3 or 4 hours before the game, and you didn't have to any jobs inside of chess. That's why I was like to play in freestyle, and also the most things you can play here. Any move first, and you just very interesting position, every position. So
isn't that host also a League of Legends host? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. It's cool that he's now commentating chess.
Of freestyle chess tournaments coming years.
Do you feel like freestyle chess as a format lends itself to supporting any specific style of player? Do you think more aggressive players will do better in this format, more defensive players? How do you kind of evaluate through your experience so far which type of player might succeed in this format?
Yeah, I think freestyle chess was great for attacker players, but if you also defense very good, I think it's also very good because you don't know. I think against Nodrbek I was take after the opening very bad position, but I was defend very good, so that's why he was missed some moves. So yeah, here most important thing you need to just calculate very good, and if you take very bad position after the 5 move, you need to defend also very good. Yeah.
It almost sounds like you need to do everything very good because
no, in probably I think in this 9 rounds I just
That
only
is
get
true. You
very
just
bad
have
position
to
after
play
opening
good
against
chess.
Nodrbek. In other my games I was completely fine. I think.
You know, one of the things that I think the fans and the commentators really enjoyed was watching all of you discuss at the start. You get these 10 minutes and then
Yeah.
you're going through the positions and we would see the players get together. Was there any one particular player whose insights you really liked or enjoyed?
Ooh, I like that
Yeah,
question.
I told it yesterday. Yeah, Caruana was amazing understanding this chess. Yeah, when we are when we are playing in one color, he was when we got 10 minutes, he was do amazing job for I think for everyone. Yeah, I was enjoyed to see how he was understanding this chess because yeah, he was prepared a lot in my opinion for this tournament. No, maybe for this format freestyle chess, and yeah, I was enjoyed.
Is there anything in particular that you learned or took away from Fabi in the round robin stage so far?
Yeah, I was understanding some things, but okay, I'm also not understanding this chess because yeah, sure. But yeah, but he was I think he was better understanding this how to go with pieces. Yeah, it was amazing.
I mean, James, there's a reason why both of them were at the top of the leaderboard throughout.
Exactly. You have delivered in such an exciting...
Okay, well, that is really cool. That is really cool. All right, everybody. I think with this, we are going to probably be calling it a day. What does happen is that, unfortunately, both Levin Aronian and Fedosov get knocked out of the tournament, so they're not going to be playing tomorrow the classical chess. Tomorrow, there's going to be classical chess, so it's going to be really, really exciting to see how this changes for classical chess. So I hope that you guys have had fun watching this with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this. We are going to, like I said, I'm posting my Magnus Carlsen video later this evening. So, you know, we have lots of content that we're going to be filming. I am also going to do my best to commentate as much as possible, but there might be some day or a couple days where I have to do some other filming. So I will see, but I will, like always, let you guys know when I'll be live. So chat, be part of my Discord if you're not already. But yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're having fun watching freestyle chess. It's a completely new thing for me to commentate. It's weird to be like, what opening is this? But it's a lot of fun to commentate chess, and I actually don't commentate top level chess like almost ever. And it's actually more fun than I thought it was gonna be. I think it's a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it as well. We are going to send over a raid. We're gonna send over a raid very soon, and I guess I'll send over a raid to Chess24, who are also live streaming this right now. We have Judith Polger over there, and Peter Lecko, and Niklas, who's a German grandmaster. So let me send over a raid to Chess24. Thank you so much once again for watching the stream. Have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody, and I will see you all very soon. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much, YouTube. Thank you so much, Twitch, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye, everybody. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Take care, chat. Take care.